Sorry.
Incredible.
No, it probably is though.
Just sounded like
it. Too short.
Oh yeah.
Too short.
Okay.
So you want to be a gangster?
All right. What up, YouTube and SoundCloud and all the other fucking places?
Yeah.
It is a drink and a joint, and this is momentous. Toby, you want to tell them what fucking number this is?
Number 50.
Number 5 fucking O.
Lasted this long, I do not know how. We have been shadow banned, but not fully banned.
Nope. We will always come back.
Yeah.
We are like the thing that will not die. What always comes back? We're Michael Myers, baby. Yeah. We're fucking Jason Voorhees, bitch.
And you know, he told me not to say anything in the first 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's all they listen to. We're going to start doing coke on the show. How about that? How about that?
Every
this
fucking
is
time.
why we're run. Yeah.
This is what we do.
No,
why don't you tell them who we got with us today, Toby? We got some special guests.
Introduce your goddamn selves. This is what we do on this show.
I'm Zach.
I'm
show.
I'm Pat. My name's Mute Da Vinci. I make a whole lot of music.
Get up on that. Get up on that mic.
So we
a
got
little bit
Show
more.
Like lip to dick.
And
Lip to dick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Show's a producer and rapper, and Mute Da Vinci.
I'm the
writer,
best.
I'm a
I'm the best rapper ever.
Mogul, I like that.
Best rapper ever.
The best rapper alive. Okay, so Toby and
I like it.
y'all are about to fight in the street over that
Yeah,
title.
it's a fucking rap beat.
Well, I'm gonna get a fucking belt.
I was about to say,
We're gonna
we
get
need
a
a
belt.
group belt just to fight over.
Oh yeah.
That's what this podcast has become. We just invite rappers and they fight out their problems.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
World
Well, that's all
There's
it's
got to
ever
be more
been,
space.
really.
We have like a dance floor
Yeah.
where they fight on. It's real slippery though.
Yeah.
Because eventually they'll be like, oh, what are we doing?
No boxing gloves. We just use the Hulk gloves.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The
Buy a bunch of
punch 'em
sock
up
boppers.
gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about that. About that life. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining us on the fucking 50th episode. It's been a long road to get here, Toby. Been a long fucking road.
We've only had one bad podcast that I can remember.
And it was like a few weeks ago.
We smoked too much wax and we forgot completely what we were talking about, and it was like a long silence.
We fizzled
and it
hard and got real mad at ourselves. Got real sad.
Yeah.
So the whole end of the podcast was just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Because we've been doing this thing. We've been doing this podcast for over a year now, and we still like, you know, on SoundCloud we're doing okay. We teeter between like 470 and 500 followers like any given day.
Yeah.
Just kind of like chilling around there, which isn't the most, but it's also like we haven't done anything. We've never promoted it really, and that's just been organic growth on SoundCloud, which is fine.
And then YouTube chops us down.
Dude,
even though we're doing
YouTube
live on here.
I know,
YouTube's algorithms are
I know we
horrible.
stream live, but
And thank
motherfucker,
you,
goddamn, like,
Oh, and that's right.
yeah, let's get that over there. I can share that with him.
Appreciate it. Oh, it's a little teacup.
Yep, it is a little teacup
Short
for your
as the
ashes. And yeah, it's been a long time getting to this point, because you know after 50 you get to 100, and it's
always
not
like-
that big of a deal. And that's well, aren't you talking about starting a podcast, or did you start a podcast?
I have like a YouTube page, but it's still in the works. So I have like 4 or 5 different sections that I'm going to be doing on it. I have clout ranking, which is just all these artists that follow me online submit like music videos or tracks that they have on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
that's
me and my
cool.
homie will watch them, rank them from 1 to 10, give them some like, because obviously I do music, so I
Yeah.
can give you some solid advice other than like you're trash,
Right.
or you're not.
Yeah.
But I can tell you why it's trash or whatever. And then the other one that we were just talking about that I can't even believe they're letting me do is comparing the top 10 on like the Billboard hip hop charts or whatever chart to like the top 10 on random SoundCloud charts.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to keep that series going as long as I don't ever monetize it.
Oh. But you can get sponsored on there.
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure.
Oh,
So,
well,
yeah.
see, that's the way around it then, yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying the other day. I was like, when it comes down to these podcasts and
Advertisements.
stuff, like, I don't give a fuck if we get demonetized. It's like, as long as we have a fan base, you know, you can run a Patreon and you can get fucking
Patreon is so
sponsors.
slept on.
Oh, for sure.
If you're not an Instagram thought, like every Instagram thought has a Patreon, but if
Yeah.
you're not an Instagram thought,
They're
it
like,
is
buy me
still
waffles
worthwhile.
for
Yeah.
$100 waffles for outlets.
Yeah.
I live in Los Angeles.
Right?
Waffles get
It might be
expensive.
$100 waffles. I don't know.
Yeah.
How much have you paid for waffles? I've definitely paid $50 for some chicken waffles.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Right around there. Yeah, like at Gladys Knight's place down in Atlanta.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I've paid like whatever a box of Eggo costs.
Okay.
I've never had no type of other waffles. I've had some banging French toast.
You never had any waffle other than an Eggo waffle?
Yeah, you never had
Like, not even
Belgium.
at the
Like,
Waffle
no.
House.
Not,
Belgium waffle.
oh, I've had a waffle at Waffle House. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
that's like
that's
an
an
Eggo.
Eggo,
That's
though.
an Eggo
Yeah.
waffle.
It's still
That's,
an Eggo.
that's like
I
an
mean,
Eggo
they got
waffle.
a little press. It's like a hotel waffle.
Yeah.
Right,
Hotel
right.
waffle.
But
Yo,
what?
one of the
how
best
is-
waffles I ever had in my life came from a hotel.
Okay,
Well,
so
they
but
get the
what's the
Belgian
difference?
ones
It's
Well,
not.
that was probably the wrong
thick
type of waffle.
Belgian.
Yeah, so the best place to go for a waffle around here is probably Aretha Frankenstein's.
Yeah.
You go there and get that
Oh.
Elephant's Gerald, and it's a giant fucking
Is that
Belgian
place by where
one.
that art show was?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was right behind it.
It's a giant Belgian waffle with fucking ice cream on it.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm definitely team waffle because
over pancake.
I hate
over
pancakes.
pankaku.
Yeah.
Nah,
Why?
I'm not a big pancake fan. Waffles are just
I mean,
so
I agree.
superior.
Pancakes
How
are-
are they, because they're
they
like
hold you
crunchy
down.
and fluffy.
They're more
And
airy.
they hold the butter
they're
and
airy.
syrup better.
Yeah,
Pancakes like fill you down and turn into a rock. I feel
Yeah.
like, you know.
but they're made of the same shit.
But it's more. There's
Facts.
not enough air for it can't breathe. You know.
Yo, you gotta let that pancake batter breathe.
You gotta let
that
the
batter
beef breathe.
breathe.
You gotta let the batter breathe.
And plus,
you gotta
like
let-
anything that is related, like when we relate things to a pancake, it's always in a negative way, like pancake
Yeah.
booty.
When you go
Oh,
sneak
yeah.
into a
You
man.
know?
She got that. She got that waffle
So-
ass.
Yeah.
but that's
That
different.
means, yeah, she's thick out here.
Waffle ass. I don't even know.
I don't
She sit
like
down
it.
on the
No,
grill.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
I don't know what
nobody's
that
got waffle booty, but
means. Yeah.
Nobody's
well,
got
except maybe
waffle
like
booty.
strippers and fishnets.
Yeah.
Strippers
Okay,
and
then yeah,
fishnets.
that, that would be
That's
waffle
waffle
booty.
Or like,
booty.
or like old
Yeah,
ladies
like
that still think they have it.
onions, cherries,
Yeah.
maybe a couple
Fucking
ice cream
waffle
scoops.
booty.
Waffle booty. Hashtag waffle booty.
Hashtag waffle booty, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
just
it's
get
when
that
you sit
going.
on a hammock. It's
Oh,
when you
okay.
sit- yeah,
Facts.
Any
booty
kind of
shorts,
netting?
Like,
Yeah, waffle booty.
Yeah. We need to start a whole page.
And see, that's positive.
Facts. Like at
There's
waffle
nothing
booty.
negative
Yeah.
about booty in a hammock.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, depends where you are, you know,
Yeah.
what's attached, I guess.
Yeah, because
How high that hammock is.
Oh,
That could be a negative.
Fucking some
Yeah,
pervert all
fucking
up under this hammock.
oh,
Yeah.
getting shat on, yeah.
Okay,
Remember that
so
dude?
that's some
Okay.
scat stuff.
No, do
Oh,
you
man.
remember the dude? He owned McAfee.
Oh yeah, he
And
would have
he,
people in a fucking
a
hammock
hammock.
over him
Shit,
shitting.
yeah, and that was his thing.
That's
On his
facts.
chest, his face. The dude who owned McAfee, he ran away from tax
Waffle booty
evasion
just went real
because he
negative.
stole a bunch of money, and he was
This
like
is what
doing
we
a
do
bunch of
here.
illegal shit. And he went out to international waters and still is there.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still balling out. And like they made a documentary about all these women that have been rescued from him that like just got shit on all the time.
Oh, and
They're like,
they loved it. They thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious that this dude liked to be shit on and
like
would pay
most of
them
them
crazy
didn't fuck
money.
him,
Bro.
you know, he just liked to get shit on.
Yeah.
And he was.
Oh
he
God, no! I
paying
don't
the
want to
women?
touch you. I just want
Yeah.
you to shit on my face.
that's
Yeah,
nasty. I don't.
But was
what-
he paying the women to do it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, he was paying them, and they
they were
got
fine
treated
with it.
well, actually.
Yeah. I
I'm
wonder,
sure they
like-
Fine
but
with
it's it's still like
I
Hell
wonder.
yeah, I'll shit on this dude for
what?
$10,000.
For some money.
I
Look,
don't know.
like, did they eat corn the night before? Or did they eat hot sauce?
No, he
Oh,
did.
'cause that's
he
like a
told
big
them
thing
what
on
to
told
eat.
them
TV.
the diets. Yeah,
told
he
them
had
what
them
to
on
eat.
certain diets.
Okay, so
Oh, man.
Yeah,
they
so
were-
he. I don't know if he
He
got
was
it
like
and
one
actually
step
ate
It was
it.
like
away
a-
from human
he
centipede.
perfected the consistency of poop. Like
Yeah,
He
he liked a
perfected
certain
poop.
type. I bet he liked a spray. Like I'm gonna get spray fighting.
Febreze.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, or maybe he was a log man. You know, like some people
Yeah.
just wanted you to drop a big old fat log.
He
on
had
it.
him on liquid diets.
Yeah. Ugh.
the stuff that you
That's
get
too
at the
much
hospital.
cleanup.
Just
Give
like-
me your eye sockets.
Yeah,
and shit,
just
man.
milk
Ugh.
and baby food.
You know he has 18 cases of
Baby
pink eye
foods.
on record.
Oh yeah, that dude lives with pink eye. Oh my god.
Him and Pink Eye are like this, son.
He woke up one day, his eye was swollen shut, it never opened again.
And he
wears
made
an eye patch.
security software. That's how he got rich, right?
Oh,
so he
man.
like
That's
the
crazy.
you know McAfee or what's the other one like what's the other one? Avis or not? That's a car place.
Shout
That
out-
just goes to
what's
show
the
that
other one?
everyone behind the scenes is weird.
Oh, once you get to a certain
Look.
tax bracket, I think you get bored. Like you have too much time, too much money, and you fucked everything that can breathe. And you're just like, maybe I fucked something that can't breathe, you know, and then you get
It's like-
necrophilia. And now,
And then
And
you're
now-
into like fucking
Man.
fish.
Yeah.
You're fucking things that just don't take in air.
fish. Oh,
and then
God.
Ligers get made up.
Yeah.
Are there any fish fuckers out there? Is
Oh,
that
I'm
fish?
Bro,
sure
that
there are
is a-
motherfuckers that fuck
Yo.
fishes.
Do you know where we live?
I bet you there's someone within 15
How do you
miles
fuck a
that
fish?
fucks fish.
Bro,
can't
I mean,
even
fish
picture
don't
it.
have.
And if we're
teeth.
going that, okay, so what? Okay, so within a 30-mile radius, do you think that there is a necrophiliac?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably.
100%. Anywhere in America.
And there's
And you think
definitely.
they realize it?
No,
With
wait,
30
hold on.
miles?
So
you
Oh,
when I
think
dude,
worked-
they
when I worked
know
in the-
that
They
they're
have to
fucking
know.
dead
Unless
people.
they're just like inside the house.
How
like,
did they figure this out though? You either have to kill someone or you have to be in a morgue.
or watch CSI.
Or well, you could have a thing for it, but how you gonna actually fuck? How you gonna really know?
Well, like
Until
you
get
could
out,
you could have just seen
you
a
know?
scary movie when you were a kid and been like, wow, that dead girl's pretty
Like,
attractive.
Yeah, well,
Work it
I
out.
like that
that's
her
natural.
Her
skin's so
titties are out
pale.
and she's bleeding.
Yeah. Well,
I think I like blood
Yeah.
players.
Well, it's hot up until the life leaves their eyes. You know,
Okay, so Toby likes the moments right before death.
Yeah.
or at least simulated.
No, it seems like it's got to be real for you.
But no, once the life leaves the eyes, you leave that body alone.
you close
roll
his
that
eyes.
off of the bed into your furnace.
But when
that
I
you
worked
heat.
at that vape shop that I worked at, it was also like a sex toy shop.
Oh,
And,
vape and sex toys.
And
Is
it
there
was, and it
one
was around
both?
here.
Is there one you
Yo, we sold-
vibrate
we
and
sold-
puff on? 'Cause
Oh,
that would be sick.
that's innovative. But
That's innovative.
Yeah, it can
No,
go
that
in
is-
all your front holes.
we had
Like-
these blow up animal dolls that had like little vaginas in the back, and I'm not even
Animal
kidding.
fuck
there,
dolls?
there are multiple people.
What, pigs? People like
Goats. There was a pig actually, but goat was the one that we sold the most.
There's
the
this-
pig, like, get over here, squealer. And it's like,
There was this
Oh,
dude at
yeah.
my last job that was like every Christmas party he would always get super drunk and talk about fucking goats. Like that is his name. His name's Goat
Because
Fucker.
he'd done it.
Swear.
Goat fucker?
Goat Fucker. His name's Goat Fucker. Little short dude. He said how he introduced himself is he stood up on the little podium. He came in there. He's like, "My name's such and such. I'm from this little holler over here."
Why was he?
That's how he sounds.
Yeah.
So
why
it was
he
like
on a podium.
because when
Yeah, he
you
brought
get
a
the job-
podium.
no. When you get the job, it's like you have to introduce yourself to the whole shop and everything.
Oh, okay.
Like you got to get up on a chair and my name is
I
such and
feel you.
such.
I just
Oh.
didn't
And he
understand
got
the
up there
podium.
like
What shop?
super country, super drunk. It's like a aerospace shop
Oh.
off Signal Mountain. I can't really like
Okay.
talk about it.
Yeah.
I like
Aliens.
it.
We
That's
found
fine.
we found aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
That's
found
why
it.
we said click here. It makes sense. Oh,
Okay,
shit,
so this dude
okay.
actually fucked goats. This dude talked
Bro,
about fucking
I mean,
goats.
dude, he talks about it 25/8. He brings like dildos and shit. He brought dick soap to the Christmas party. Like we do like Chinese Christmas.
Yeah.
He came to the Christmas party with dick soap
Yeah,
and a
when you
blow up
get-
goat.
Oh fuck.
Yo, he
Like,
probably
he
bought
really-
it from me.
You
Dude,
probably
I feel
you
like
probably wrapped it up for him. You probably
Bro.
suggested it to him.
No, it's funny
like
because
you
everybody-
really
like a goat.
you look like a
I
man who
used
likes to
do
fuck
that to
animals.
people. When they walk in, I would be like,
You're gonna need that dick soap after
"So
being.
you guys look like you like fucking goats," and then they'd look at me crazy, and then I'd turn it. I'd be like, "Oh, see that inflatable goat?"
I see you fucked.
I used to, that was my scheme. That's how I was.
your scheme was
selling-
goats.
My scheme
That's
was
the
when they
biggest
walk in,
seller,
I'm gonna
man.
insult them and then turn it into a joke,
Yeah.
and then they buy it.
Haha,
Facts,
it's
facts.
funny,
Now
right?
it's a joke.
But
Marketing.
look at that quality puss on that goat.
Yeah.
How could you-
Like, dude, Edgar has a great goat pussy. Like, stop playing with him. Stop it.
Oh man, they're individually named.
Oh man, that's crazy.
All right.
They don't go.
so-
You started off on a great note.
Fuck yeah! Talking about goat fucking right out the gate. This is
Yeah.
quality
Yeah, yeah.
podcasting.
It's number 50. We
Yeah.
gotta come
Yeah.
heavy.
Gotta go
Come in
hard.
strong.
You gotta go in hard. One thing we should try to do is keep the crosstalk to a minimum because it gets a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah,
let's
that's
just
how-
try to be slightly mindful,
Yeah.
Got it.
talking over each other.
Mom.
I'm just saying it's gonna be hard to edit.
Yeah.
This one I'll actually have to edit the audio before it goes up on SoundCloud.
No, I like it when people talk over each other.
But this
it-
isn't goddamn
interesting.
whatever that fucking news show is, where everybody's yelling at each other. This is
Oh.
a wholesome
Oh,
family
you mean where they're in the four
podcast.
corners? Or like sports? Is it the
Yeah,
Sports
where
Center
everybody's
show?
just screaming.
Like Dale
Yeah.
Earnhardt?
Is it called Yell About Sports?
Let's just take a moment of silence for Dale Earnhardt, everybody.
Dale Earnhardt
Is
has
he
a
dead?
podcast now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a
Okay,
podcast.
I was about to say Dale Earnhardt's quite dead.
Oh, yeah, he's very
Oh.
dead.
He just started a podcast.
Oh,
But his son, like, took over the
Everybody's
world.
getting into it.
Everybody has a podcast. Dale Earnhardt, he's fucking dead. He got a podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Ghosts that haven't come back yet.
Yeah.
They found out about technology.
Oh no, that's what before we started the podcast, we were talking about ghosts and why they haven't gotten into the technological age.
Except for
yet.
Momo.
Except for one, which was one you could text, and then what?
Momo had a
Explain
WeChat.
it. Yeah.
Momo had a WeChat, and you could hit up Momo, and then for 6 months, Momo would convince you to kill yourself and your family. So
Yeah, Matt, that's
It's not
a hard
real.
Dude, shout out to paying for schizophrenia.
Yeah, we were actually gonna. I was throwing around the idea of this today's episode topic being mental illness,
yeah,
Time. Yeah.
just to call attention to it. And
yeah.
Now, so yeah,
But-
a really broad question that we've been debating. So, have both of you like taken a lot of psychedelics before?
Yes.
Yeah.
So after living my life and looking back at how close I've been to some amazing things, and like my not willing to succumb to society and shit, like I truly question, because I've always said it's like good for everyone and great at any amount.
Yeah.
And it's like very helpful just to see that side.
Yeah, I agree.
But I can finally ask the question of like, did it affect me assimilating in society? I think yes. Like,
yeah, because if I find out somebody hasn't tripped, I definitely look at them differently.
that, and well, even the way I view myself, because
yeah.
I can't, I'm not capable of bowing to people, of doing a lot of things that are necessary to be successful, you know?
Yeah,
And
because
so
I guess
it's gotten in the
tripping
way.
brings you to that
Facts.
point where you're like, oh, everybody's just the same.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
yeah, to a point, everybody's got the same insecurities. Everybody's
Yeah.
got everybody is just like, everybody all the time is in their head like, oh man, am I not good enough? Like, most
Thanks.
everybody is. Everybody's got that kind of like imposter syndrome where it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, like when
Especially the egomaniacs, right? The one, they're just hiding it the best,
okay,
you know?
the people that actually literally think they're the shit and they're just
Well,
they're the
I
best.
think that comes from that.
Like a
insecurity, is what I'm saying.
Kanye.
I
Yeah.
feel like some
I
of those
think-
people are like trolling for like a sense of like belonging or something. Because if you look at like a lot of rappers are like super insecure, but they'll be out there doing the stupidest stuff because now they have likes, now they have comments, they have people interacting with
Yeah.
them, and it's like, oh my god, this is
To
crazy.
be wanted to turn on a camera on yourself, right, is insecure
Yeah,
because you're
facts.
like
There was
looking for
that-
validation.
Yeah, there was that study, I don't remember, it came out like a couple years ago about how if somebody takes too many selfies, they're probably a psychopath. Like
Oh, yeah.
there's like
No, I mean-
psychopathic tendencies in taking a lot of selfies
Oh,
and
yeah.
like staring at yourself constantly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah.
Like constantly picking yourself apart in that
yeah,
way,
exactly.
Yeah.
or even being that vain.
Just to want to take all the
But see,
pictures.
even,
yeah.
I kind of do see the circle of it though, because vanity would come from them picking apart their insecurities and either working on them or letting them destroy you.
Or you're
you
like,
know?
I am
Facts.
fucking beautiful.
Like so,
That's an issue too.
I had this girl
Yeah.
tell me one time, like I was talking about the selfie stuff. I had this girl tell me one time, I would never talk to a guy that took selfies in the mirror. Like you take mirror pictures of yourself
Well,
because
if you got
like,
a gun.
if you got a gun,
Then
I
it's
mean,
hard.
Yeah.
most of the time it depends what environment you're in. Like if you're in Calabasas in a mansion and you just toting a gun on Instagram for no reason, you're not living like that. Stop. But
Yeah.
if you're like in the hood and that's just
Showing off
you
your
have
guns
to
and
show
your abs,
that.
man.
Like if you're in certain places, you have to show that. Like you have to put a gun
Oh,
on
no, I
Instagram.
see what you're saying.
Because somebody might like run up on you.
Necessary,
They need to
yeah,
know
for
you have it.
protection.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, don't
Yeah.
mess with me.
It's like a
type
security
shit.
thing.
The other side is just showing off their weapons.
Facts. Like a
that's
lot of
the-
people are
there's-
like that. But there's some people I know like might just flash it one time on like a video or something.
But
so
even
it's
then,
like,
like,
you know I
they
have
gotta
it.
be
run up on
careful.
them, Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
You
feel
got to
that.
be careful because you're
Exactly.
painting a target on yourself
Well, I think
too.
Exactly, at the
everybody
same time.
wants to be more something than everyone else. Like you want to be
Yeah.
cooler than somebody else, or
Let's go
harder
around the
than
room.
somebody else, or
Davey?
whatever. What do you want to be
you-
more something than someone else?
Let's go
What?
around the room.
What?
What do you want to be more than anyone else? The one thing that you want to be like the best at or have
Cooler,
extra.
harder.
Yeah.
Man, see, I don't know. Well, that's difficult because like in my mind it isn't like that because like I've always known the bigger fish thing. I think everybody has their I think everybody has their point. Everybody has their spot that they can take.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I see is that
Okay.
like you are responsible for taking your spot. It's there. Like no, like we've talked about that before. No industry, no market is ever oversaturated. There's always room for you. You always have a spot as long as you're genuine,
Yeah, that's fact.
because that's you, and that's the uniqueness. That's the oneness. That's
All right, spark the
that's
other
what
half of
that
this
is.
podcast.
But as far as that goes, like comparison, like I really love the quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy."
Facts.
Because as soon as you start comparing yourself to other people
I
or
feel like
what
you're just getting
everyone
around
else
the
is,
question that I asked you.
well, if I had to pick, I wanted to be the best. Fuck, man, but that's hard. That's so.
You want to be the best fuck?
Yeah, I want to be
Yeah.
the best. Fuck. There we go.
That's a
I
dope
want to be my
idea.
best.
Better than anyone.
Fuck, see, that's some Freudian slip shit right there.
There you go.
I want to be the best. Fuck.
Yeah,
You meant that.
Answered your own question.
there we go. All right.
I want to make the most innovative sound that the human ears have ever heard.
Yeah. I want to invent the first perpetual motion machine.
Oh, what's it? You thought I was talking bullshit. That's bullshit. You're not gonna do that. I'm gonna at least try at mine. Damn.
But see, but that to me, because like I'm already trying to do so many things. It's hard for me to be like I want to be the best at those because like I know I want to be able to do these things for a living. It's like I want to be I don't know if I act. I do acting. I've been in movies and TV shows and shit like that. And that's something that like I'm just good at. It's something I've always just been able to do.
Yeah.
Is that like a you just wanted to do that, or is it like a dissociation thing like that gets you away from everything?
Not particularly. I could see that though for sure, like being able to escape. But for like,
Yeah.
you know, like
I never thought of it like that. That actually kind of
That was a strong
I've always
question.
looked
Yeah,
down on it just because
Yeah.
like it seemed like it was a lot of work to be someone else. But when you say it like that, it's kind of relieving. To
And
be
at the same
someone
time,
else
It's
for
the
a
same
second.
thing as the music.
to a degree.
At the same
Yeah.
time, like
Yeah.
it's some people look at it like a job too. Like I know some people that do acting and stuff, and that's literally like they go to work. Like say you leave your house, like you would leave your house in pajamas to go to the gas station, but now you're leaving your house in a suit to go to work. You see what I'm saying? Like some people look at the acting stuff like, I'm just going to work. This is my job.
Well, no,
gotta
it
put this
is.
outfit on.
It is just a job when it
Yes.
comes down to it. It's like they're
still trying to
paying
get
you
the
to
check.
show up. You just gotta you basically just have to talk.
Exactly.
It's basically what it is.
Those are the two extreme ways that you can go into any job, though. It's in your pajamas or your suit.
Yeah.
You know?
Or in a mascot costume.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's just saying. Unless you're a mascot, and then you have your suit on.
Now we're back to insanity.
See, it is the suit
Yeah.
in the right scenario.
We're bad.
But yeah, like trying to be a working actor and musician are two of the most difficult things you can ever try to do.
Yeah.
And then like I can't. There's something in my head that won't let me be satisfied until I've accomplished those things.
Yeah.
Which means that I'm either gonna like die broke and like
Thanks.
We're
yeah.
It's most definitely.
Well, that's
Or
a
I'm gonna
question you
do
should
it.
ask yourself. Yeah, do you love it enough to die broke for it? Like,
Yeah.
Well, also, like, a lot of people just never even really ask themselves if they're good.
yeah.
You know, like, some
I
people just, like,
have
jump all in and they're
self-hatred
like,
like a
they never even
motherfucker.
think, like, I suck.
That's just what I do.
Well, I remember a while back you brought up that theory of like thinking that you're actually kind of like mentally handicapped and everyone around you is just coddling you.
Well, no, it's
Oh.
not a theory. It's just a question that always, of course, you ask yourself.
Bro,
Yeah,
I
you're
think-
like, am I retarded? And
Yeah.
everybody
I think
around me is
everybody-
just
Well, see, not like that sense.
Enabling
like, I've
me?
Just, you
'Cause,
know,
like, how
mine
would
is
you
from
know?
the overdosing of psychedelics for year after year. Like,
Well, yeah.
I feel like maybe I got spaced out enough, and I can't get a regular job, and I can't do all these things.
do
And
it.
everyone around me
Most
just
definitely.
knows me and like loves me enough to just not mention this one thing that is the reason I can't
Yeah.
go into these places.
Yeah.
And it's probably something. It's probably a mindset. If I had to pick, looking down on myself, if I had to pick the thing, it would be like, my God complex, or
I think is it a God complex or is it like a
well, God complex would be
Messiah?
outside of myself. Yeah, or like a savior complex,
Yeah.
something like that.
You're like
Like-
an empath.
Well, I think most
Oh, no.
creatives have some form of Messiah complex.
They feel like
or-
they're meant for
martyr
like, you have
complex.
Yeah,
purpose.
you
Like,
feel like you're
you know?
destined
Like this is
for
my
greatness.
destiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And that's fucking insane.
It is- it's
Like,
insanity.
Well, that's why people hate
absolutely.
Kanye. But, like, he does
I
all
don't
the
think
things
his
he
is
talk.
real. That's why I hate him.
I
No,
think-
I 100% think it's real.
I think the people that are real, you can't even really tell. Like, it may seep through, but the people that really think that are going to be smart enough to, like,
Hide it.
not make it up front.
well, the
Well, see,
people
right?
that are
Because it
really
seems
like that
weird.
are people like Charles Manson and David Koresh
Yeah.
that
In-
literally
in a
were
light,
like,
yeah,
like I have your
they
answers.
were taking over the, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the cult leaders, yeah.
Mhm.
But see,
also,
Kanye is a cult leader.
Yeah, well, now, but... And I was just saying yesterday, I would totally join the cult of Kanye.
Oh, Kanye. Oh.
Because...
Get those sweet ass Yeezys for free.
Yeah, well, and... I mean, every cult meeting, you got some bomb music playing.
I mean,
Actually,
I
hold on, wait. I was
get
just
where
having
you're
this
coming
conversation
from,
the
but
other day with somebody.
These
Somebody
beats are
said
dope.
because Kanye said he was gonna quit doing regular music non-secular music, and he was focusing on gospel for the rest of his career.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And I saw somebody post that they would never listen to Kanye again if he went gospel for the rest of his career.
Dude,
So
he
I had
makes
to,
some sick gospel.
but I had to respond with, "You say that like Jesus Walks doesn't slap."
Yeah.
Facts.
I'm not even religious, and I'll still bump Jesus Walks because that was an incredible song.
Yeah.
I made Jesus walk, so I'm never going to hell.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that and he was like making a video game where you play as like his mom as an angel.
What?
Yeah. No, he scrapped it though.
Okay.
Yeah,
didn't hear about that.
was
What
an
is
idea.
that?
It was called Donda, and it was a
You were
video
his
game.
mom?
His mom died, and so it was a game about you played his mom as an angel, like looking after Kanye after her death.
Oh my
So you were
God.
like
No, see-
trying to guide
That is some
Kanye
weird
through
shit.
life.
Yeah.
How wild! Like, but
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
thinks of these ideas that he thinks of. He's so next level.
But
You
they're
asked that
all
question a minute
revolving around him though,
And I
so
love
it's
it,
so
bro. I
egotistical.
fucking love it.
Damn.
But see, the thing is like, yeah, he has a God complex, and I get what you were saying about how a lot of people who really have it don't say it. But like when you've
Yeah.
already achieved all the things that you felt in your head you were supposed to achieve in your God complex, you're going to want to be like, accept that
It's
I'm
gonna
great.
come out eventually.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna
too.
tell somebody like, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
I've done all this.
It'll
Deal with
seep
that.
out as you get reassurance. See, that's the thing. Like, well, that's the constant, the battle, right? Is that like if you have dreams of greatness and yet haven't achieved them, there's not reassurance yet,
Yeah, you sound
right?
crazy.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you're not crazy if you actually can back up what you're talking
That's why
about.
people still buy Kanye shit, because he's talking crazy.
He's not
like,
lying,
Like if
though,
I
in
was
a
saying the
weird
same
way.
things that Kanye was saying, it would be crazy because
Yeah.
I haven't done those things in my career yet, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But because he's already done the things that he's talking crazy
All
about,
right,
people are
Kanye's
just like,
God.
well, yeah, I mean, that's facts. What are you going to say next?
Yeah.
This episode of Drinking a Joint brought to you by Kanye's Cult.
Yep. Sunday service.
Praise the Lord.
Oh, wait, is this? Yeah. it
Yeah, he
is.
has Sunday service. The last video they posted, there was literally like, I think it was like over 100,000 people at his last Sunday service. Like, it's getting huge.
What?
The first one was
Is
like,
he preaching?
the first one was like 20 people. So he sits up there with a piano, and like he has a whole choir behind him, and he'll remake like old Aaliyah songs and like old 90s R&B songs into gospel songs, and
He's
it's
gonna
really
break
just
over into
everybody
preaching.
hanging out
He's
and
gonna
jamming.
end
It's like
up-
a festival every Sunday,
Fucking
and everybody
Reverend
just dresses up
Kanye.
in Yeezys and fucking
Yeah.
turns up with
Bro,
Kanye on
Look,
Sunday.
Do you
Are they all
believe-
white?
No.
Because yeah, that's a classic.
There's
cult
like
thing, if
tons
they
of
were all one
celebrities
color.
showing up and all types of shit. Like Jay-Z and
course.
Beyonce are going, and
Oh, they're into every little cult, aren't they?
yeah,
Bro, I believe that is like a marketing technique to a point.
yeah.
Like, no lies.
I've always wanted to start a cult, man. It's always been a lifelong
I always
dream,
told
like,
people if I never achieved
Nothing too
any of my
violent.
dreams by the time I was 40, I was just gonna start a church.
Yeah. Dude, when I was 17,
All right,
I wrote,
guys.
I wrote a.
This is what we need to do.
A doctrine.
We need to all
when I
go
was
in on a
17.
cult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just all go in on starting a
I've
cult.
already started, man.
He's like, I got one.
I just don't have people. I got all the doctrine. I got
Yeah.
the basis of the idea.
But I feel like your doctrine is mostly what fucking Satanism is.
Whoa.
Not
It has
No,
no
actually-
religious intent at all.
no,
like,
no, the whole, it's,
Neither does
it's,
Satanism, really.
No, it's thy will be done.
Yeah.
no, but
That's their doctrine basically is
don't make up my. You don't know.
I know
No,
you.
no.
I know
No.
you. And you're
No, you
Toby
may
is fuck
think you know
bitches,
me.
get money.
That you don't really know me. But yeah, we will be fucking bitches and getting money.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So,
that
the-
is in the doctrine.
so what's the
I
cult
mean,
called?
those are the first lines, but let's move past MOB. You know, like
Yeah.
shit.
That shit. What are you gonna call
All
the cult?
praise, money over bitches.
Okay, it's gonna be called Money Over Bitches.
Nah,
It's just
we
the
can't
mob.
steal that shit. Yeah.
Oh,
So what? Okay, so what is your musical guilty pleasure? What's the thing that you listen to that you would just really not prefer to tell anybody that you listen to? It could be like deep cuts from like the fucking 80s
Oh man,
or 90s.
I'm not even worried about telling people anything I listen to, because I listen to everything. I listen to like opera. I listen to fucking like
Opera?
tons of classical music.
Name one opera
Um,
artist. I'm putting you on the spot.
No. I don't mean like I have favorite opera artists. I mean like I'll put on an opera-
Pavarotti.
No, I mean like I'll put
That's
on
the
an
one.
opera playlist. Yeah, I'll put on like an opera playlist.
The
or
three
some
other
shit, or-
tenors.
That's the
There is a
attitude.
Pagliacci and a Pavarotti, even though Pagliacci is the name in one of Pavarotti's operas. Isn't that fucking weird? It's like he was writing about his friend.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
weird.
They are spelled different, Pagliaccio and Pagliacci. Yeah.
I also
But-
listen to like a lot of old like.
Pagliaccio.
Well, I guess like
That's all
Ray
I remember, though.
Charles and like shit like that. Like I love like old Ray Charles and like 40s, 40s, 50s era music and shit. Like I like a lot
do
of
you
old
mean by
shit,
that?
but I'm always
40s?
looking for samples.
What is 40s
like I like,
music? Isn't that a weird? Because I can name like 20s. 50s,
It's like big
60s,
band.
have a-
yeah, like
Okay.
yeah.
Like some early crooner.
Pardon me,
type
boy.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that the Chattanooga choo-choo?
Yeah,
That's
shit
more
like that is
like-
fire.
That's
Some
what
ragtime.
Well, yeah, that's-
leaning on ragtime.
I
which
want
is
to
the
get
20s.
That's
I
what
was
that is,
actually,
though.
speaking of Megan Thee Stallion, why the whole reason we found that song the other night is because we were looking up another song that we thought was by her. It's that "Why Men Great."
Oh, Lizzo.
Yeah, but the reason I was looking it up was to show her about the. It has ragtime influences, and it reminded me of the Yin Yang Twins used that ragtime. We got a handsome on the face and on the balls and the thighs.
Yeah.
You remember that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's some
forgot about
ragtime. But that's like some old box piano ragtime.
Yeah.
And she had a line in that song that it was like I fucking forget it, but she used that same like ragtime movement, that chromatic back and forth movement, which is not done
Yeah.
in hip hop and R&B.
That's
like,
why it's a
they
hit
don't
right
touch
now.
that chromatic shit, and it kind of sounds circusy in a weird way, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a simple little line that you couldn't, you know. But if you see the movements of it, it's like really weird.
And you just made me think. It's crazy to think that like at one time the music that plays at like a circus was like that was the hits.
Yeah, that was what you went
That was
home
like,
humming.
that was the hits.
yeah.
You pull up at the
What's the
circus like,
famous
man,
one
it
called?
slaps.
Do you know the name of it?
The fuck.
It has a name.
Oh yeah, no, I
forget.
don't know what it's called. I always get that confused with what is that song called? The Performer? Is that
The
song?
Entertainer.
The Entertainer.
That was the
Yeah.
Sting. That was the movie Sting. Yeah, that's what my parents got married to. That was the song.
The
he loved-
Entertainer?
My dad loved Sting, and that's what like they got married. Their marriage song or whatever.
Okay,
She may have walked down the aisle, or they danced during it. I can't remember which one, but
that's
it was like their
weird.
wedding song. My dad loved that movie.
That's
This was the Sting.
ridiculous.
Remember, it was the nose. Was the
Yeah.
that was the Sting.
You hand me one of those drinks.
Yeah, what you want?
Give me one of
you
those
gonna take a
ones
Bud
that I
Light
gotta. Yeah,
line?
give me one of those ones I gotta just get out the way.
Yeah, because
Everybody has to
they
have
don't
one.
taste good.
Yeah, no, I know. I despise Bud Light anything.
Yeah,
Like they just keep
They didn't have
adding more and
anything
more
good.
flavors to
Yeah.
Bud Light, and nobody asked for it.
I was at a bad gas station, Bad Pick.
Yeah.
And like the only thing they had besides regular beer was like Bud Light, lime, lemon, and this tea. And I was like, maybe it's gonna be like an
There's-
Arnold Palmer, you know?
No, there's no
Yes.
way they sell this outside of the South either, because only
Yeah.
here was somebody sitting
Tea
there being
and
like, you know what
Bud Light.
this Bud Light means?
See,
Bud Light.
exactly.
Right.
Shot
They
of
don't
Bud
even
Light
have.
down there.
They don't have sweet tea above the Mason-Dixon line.
No, it's just tea. Like,
Yeah.
just regular
Iced tea.
You have to add sugar if
Yeah.
you want some sugar in that tea.
Yeah. And it's
They don't
and
smell bad, but I
Yeah.
know it is not going to taste like it smells.
Oh, it's not that good.
Give him the ring around.
even up in
So I
when,
offer.
up in Canada, because they have
Oh,
Kentucky Fried
it's-
Chicken up in
It's
Canada.
better than I
Oh,
thought
they have
it was gonna
KFC?
be.
They have KFC up in Canada, but they don't have sweet tea.
Yeah.
They don't have sweet tea at the
How do you not
KFC.
have-
KFC
or at McDonald's.
KFC without sweet tea is not KFC.
They also don't have regular, like at KFC. KFC is the only place that you can really get biscuits in Canada.
so they don't
Yeah,
have like
They don't do Southern food up there. They think it's weird that we do biscuits and gravy. They don't know what grits are.
Yeah, a lot of
I
people
don't
like
like,
some
outside of the
grits.
South don't
Oh
know
my
what grits are. Like when I would be
Yeah.
up north, like when I lived in New England.
Some extra
about
grains.
some
to throw in
grits,
your
like-
Yeah. They'd be like, what the
What-
fuck
what
are you
the
talking
fuck
about?
is grits?
You're like, it's hominy. And they're like, homo what?
Yeah.
You calling me a homophobe? And you're like, no, hominy.
Yeah, dude. I
It's
remember,
cornmeal.
When I was a kid, I went to the Bahamas and asked for sweet tea, and just as a fuck you, they gave me hot tea, sugar cubes, lemon, and an ice thing in a separate cup, and it made me make my own. 'Cause they just
They're like, here you go, you little
to do
fucker.
it. Yeah.
You little bitch boy, make your own sweet tea.
Had conch
I'm
that
not putting
day.
these ingredients.
Some
together.
conch. That's interesting.
Mm.
It's kind of more chewy than oysters. It's like not as snotty. More chewy.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I'm not
Kinda
big
like
on
clam strips.
oysters.
You ever ate sardines?
Oh yeah, I eat sardines.
hell
quite
What's
no, I
the
don't
frequently.
what's
like
the
that shit.
weirdest
Good.
food you guys have ever eaten?
Conch's out there for me.
But that, like you
Shark
loved.
tail, alligator tail, bear.
The weirdest food.
The weirdest.
I've had some weird
Shark
game meat.
steak was really fucking good. I really
had
like
possum.
shark.
Steak. Now, see, I haven't had anything but the tail because it's like shark fin is the most rare one. Shark
Yeah.
fin soup.
I had a whole
It's, like, really
shark
fucking expensive.
steak, and it was probably one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. It was just
That
like
sounds pretty good.
the perfect. I don't know.
Like
It was like a really good-
tenderness.
also ostrich. I had like ostrich tenderloins,
Yeah.
Oh.
and that was phenomenal.
That's weird.
It's
yeah.
like steak
like
that's the
chicken steak or
consistency of
something.
chicken. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm about it though. I'd
Oh.
try it.
The weirdest thing I ever ate was a bowberry biscuit.
Yeah, those are pretty fucking
Did it go bad?
No,
yeah, they had
It's
mold
just-
on it.
No. It's just weird. Like it's a biscuit with blueberries in it and like icing and shit. It's like a
Yeah,
cake.
it's a sweet
but
biscuit.
It's like a cake but a biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What? That's
biscuit
weird.
cake.
Biscuits
All
have-
right.
biscuits are supposed to have, biscuits have
like
gravy on them.
Exotic thing.
That's. I mean, no.
Bowberry
We didn't
biscuit
say
with
most
gravy on
exotic.
it. Now
The
that
most
is
exotic thing I've ever had was like kangaroo jerky, but that was like
Kangaroo
the
jerky?
weirdest.
Wow.
That would
I
have.
had to
That
think
should
about
have
that
been
really
your
hard.
answer.
No, I had to think about that really hard. I was like, the weirdest thing I've ever
Kangaroo
ate. It's
jerky.
like really a bowberry
Blueberry
biscuit.
biscuit.
That's just so
I
weird
like
to me.
it.
Like it's awesome, but it's weird.
Okay,
Like, that
what's
combination.
okay? So what do you guys think? Okay, so that'd be a good idea for the weirdest thing. Like objectively, it's the weirdest thing that I guess you've consumed.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like as a human being, that's a weird thing to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, I ate
guess.
glue before.
Huh?
I ate glue when I was like a little kid. I got in trouble
Who
for
the
it.
fuck are you, man?
Dude,
what do you?
I was
What
like,
is your life?
I was in elementary school.
No, that's chill.
Oh shit, we got Kiku up in the chat. We have Kiku up in the chat.
Oh, what up?
What's up?
Okay.
Yeah.
What up, Kiku? That's what's up. Y'all say hi to Kiku.
What's up,
Kiku?
Yeah, he's a very talented young rapper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was on the show a few weeks ago.
Hit me up for some beats.
Yeah.
Plug.
Yeah.
He said, laughing my ass off, y'all really talking about biscuits. Yes, we are.
Those
Hey, we
exotic
found
blueberries.
aliens.
We found aliens
Yeah, we haven't even gotten there yet.
inside every single Bowberry biscuit.
Yeah.
Facts.
And if you are international viewers or listeners, Bowberry biscuits are a biscuit from a place called Bojangles.
Yeah.
Bojangles.
It sounds racist to me.
It's yes, yes, Toby. That's fine. But yeah, it's like this confectionery kind of biscuit. It's
We're still talking about business.
I know, Toby.
We haven't even got. Yeah, we haven't even.
It's a
started
real
yet.
exotic biscuit.
It's out of this
Yeah,
world.
out of this world biscuit. Bringing us back to our topic.
Yeah, 40 minutes in. 40 minutes in, we start
Maybe we
talking
can
about
start.
aliens.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny. And where are we now? Like that's the real question.
Were you guys at the Area 51 raid?
Are we-
No, I heard about that.
I was there.
We got Kiku.
I'm just kidding. That was a whole lot. I'm not even playing. Oh man.
No, what they were supposed to run in. Oh, we got Kiku on.
We've got Kiku on the air. What's going on, Kiku?
See, you already know, just keeping right now. Keeping some dabs in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, you gonna go get some biscuits later now that we've been talking about them?
Hell no, bro.
Yeah, bring over a dab rig. Let me hit that shit real quick. I'm wasting my time over here.
Hey, who said they make beats?
Oh, that was. You see him raise his hand over there?
Yeah.
Zach.
I
That
got
show.
all the beats.
We'll hook y'all up
Shit.
together.
Yeah, we'll
Hey, boys.
we'll get y'all the trade information after the show.
I said less.
All right.
Alright, remember. Keep
We-
it G.
What?
I said keep it G in these streets. You know what I'm
Alright.
saying?
That's
Keep it G in these streets.
that.
Hey,
Yes.
man, and wait, quick shout out to all my fat bitches, man. You already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Facts.
Fuck yeah.
Shout out to every fat bitch in America.
Yeah.
We love you.
IG, well, hey, I'm finna go cheese.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Alright, gang, gang.
Go, yeah.
This man. Dude.
Oh,
Fuck
man.
yeah. He's been calling
Yeah,
in the
funny.
past couple episodes.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Just a random call in every time.
I
Yeah.
love it, dude. Yeah, we need some more call-ins.
Well, like we need to get like a Google Hangouts number.
Yeah.
What is that?
That'll
I can.
it'll
Yeah.
a number that we can like link to the
Oh,
show.
shit.
You'll
and,
get
like,
like
that they can
texts from
see?
fans and like
hit
they can
you up?
call in and
Yeah,
leave
that'd be
voicemails
sweet.
and all type of shit.
yeah.
Who needs one?
I'm still trying to get through this.
I know it's gonna be.
I'll
painful.
go ahead
Do you
and
wanna
take
go?
my one that I have.
You ever been on Fiverr?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on there before.
So it's like, I got a message from this Indian dude that wanted my Google Hangouts, and he said he found me and he knows who I am, and it was like super fucking freaky. And
Oh
it's
well, there's
like,
that. You
he
know.
tried to I tried to get. I was
Absolutely.
like, who is this? So I tried to go get in the Google Hangouts, and he was like sending me all this different language stuff, and I didn't know what
It's
it
like
was.
sending you pictures of your house.
So you had to go into
Super
Google.
blocked.
Yeah.
Super blocked him. Like, it was a little weird.
You can't block people.
These are
like
so
that,
bad.
dude.
Bro, I know.
Yeah, you
There's
block
nothing
him.
you
He
can
just
do,
comes
I mean.
shows
So
up at your
at
doorstep.
4 a.m, if like somebody knocks on my door, I know who it is. Like, I'm just waiting on that guy.
You got a
'Cause
gun?
He found me. I don't know. I got
You
a
don't
BB
know if
gun.
you have a gun?
I got a BB
I
gun.
gotta look around first. It's been a while since
You
I
got
looked
you
at the
got any
couch.
priors? Can you go get a gun?
I can get a gun, yeah.
Then go get
Okay.
one.
I mean,
Yeah. We all believe in guns.
Go get that
I
gun.
have guns.
Look at that gun. Go get
Have
that
guns.
gun.
Don't make me
I
say
have
on air.
guns.
Yeah, he's like,
What the
"I have
fuck
guns,
you
I'm trying to
doing? Goddamn.
I have guns. Just go look at my Facebook.
At a drink and a joint, we are very pro gun. It is our right as American citizens to
Oh,
own
public
firearms.
service. Yeah.
Big
I
facts.
just, yeah, you said it more sophisticated than I would say. I just like don't care. I like guns.
I like guns, but it's just like I don't
Guns
know.
for president.
Guns for president.
Guns
Facts.
for president.
That's what's up. It's
Tell
just
that
it's
shit.
just a gun.
Then we can prove that guns never hurt anybody. You know,
What?
because it would just sit in office.
Yeah.
But yeah, fine.
Being
But I think
president,
we should.
not
I
shooting
think we should have a
anybody.
serious conversation about voting in an inanimate object, though. You remember
For
like
sure.
the
There was
the
some
bunny
place-
in the Pope in South Park.
Yeah, well,
How they put
some
the
place
bunny-
actually elected an animal, like a cat, as their mayor.
because they
Oh
go
yeah,
up to
and
the
their
bunny.
economy boosted and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no,
They were
it was like
donating to
a
the cat.
good move.
They were donating to the cat. It was like,
Yeah.
we got to give
Well,
Whiskers
I
some
liked
food.
how they laid it out because they go up to the bunny and be like, "So how do we fix world peace? How do we stop war?" And then he wouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
and
you
so
know-
they'd have to figure it out. And be
Yeah.
like,
you know,
this is
you
how
know
we
who
wanted
should be
it.
the president? Whoever that groundhog is that we use every year on
Oh,
Groundhog Day.
Pensatucky, Puxatawny,
Yes,
Oh,
it's
Indiana.
Puxatini.
His name's Phil.
Phil.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
what is
Puxatawny
where's it-
Phil.
where's he from?
Puxatini,
It's
Pixatani.
Puxatawny.
Yeah.
Puxatawny Phil.
That's
It's
right.
It's something like
Yeah,
that.
it's real close.
Yeah.
Internet.
Yeah, like
Shout
we
out
need to
to the internet.
rewatch.
But, yeah, his
just shout out to
president. He's loyal.
fucking Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Just let him know.
Did you see it? Wait, was it? No, it wasn't Bill Murray that was just on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Dan Aykroyd,
yeah.
that's
I'm
what
gonna
it was.
spell this shit for you guys.
Oxytocin?
No, just be quiet. Punxsutawney.
Puxatawny, dude. I said it
Yeah,
right.
Punks Atani.
Puxatawny. Has an N
Punk-
in there?
yeah, there's an
I don't
N,
think it's
P-U-N.
pronounced. I think it's a silent N because I remember them saying Puxatawny.
Punxsutawney Phil.
They I must have got
Punxsutawney,
lost
yeah.
in their accent.
Is
or
it
something.
short for Philip or is he just a Phil?
No, it's short for
Puxatawny is short for something.
Yeah. Damn.
yeah, Punxsutawney Phil. Okay, so we figured
Is
that
it in
out.
Indiana?
No,
It's in like
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
yeah.
So how
Yeah,
does
because his name is Phil. Punxsutawney
Is that
Phil.
why they named
maybe
it?
his
Adelphia.
name's Punxsutawney. And
How does a groundhog-
Phil is
Phil's
just
just-
short
yeah.
for Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
how does a groundhog tell us when our seasons change?
No, it's not about that.
It's
About a
It's
shadow.
okay. So we're gonna break this down for you, Youngblood.
Okay. I need to know.
So it's
He's a wizard.
yeah. He goes. He's in his little hidey hole for most of the year.
Okay.
And he pops his head up when you think spring is gonna come. Okay, so before spring comes,
No,
he
it's a
pops his-
shadow.
Shut up and let me tell the boy the story.
About Puxatawny.
So it was about 500 years ago.
Okay.
500.
Yeah, from in the
Yeah.
ancient ruins.
We were
old.
there.
Bro is
Yeah,
old.
ancient ruins of Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We
we
found
actually
Punxsutawney Phil.
the three of us know each other. We've known each other for centuries, and we've amalgamated this this
Well, what word
entire
was that?
situation. this entire situation to get you here.
Okay.
Yeah, to
So I
get
could
you
ask
here
that
and put
question?
you on the. No, we're gonna murder you.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're
Oh,
converting
God.
you into the next Phil.
Yeah,
I thought,
so we have
I
to.
thought we were gonna teach him something. And you're like,
No, it's
No,
murder.
I should have
Yeah.
said, I thought we were just gonna fuck him. You ain't gonna kill him.
Man,
Oh god.
everything's gone left.
Now I'm dead.
No, you're not dead yet. We have to.
Anyways, he pops up, and if he sees his shadow,
No, yeah. Oh, is it if he notices it?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
Is
if
that
he
what it
gets,
is? I hate that.
he gets a little spooked.
So it is up to him.
yeah. So either he sees his shadow or he doesn't.
But I guess the theory is that
And
like a
that
long
determines
shadow he would see
our
better,
climate.
right? A short shadow he wouldn't see as well, and so and his vision probably ain't well. You can't turn too much. So like,
Okay.
I'm thinking that's where the theory came from. Long shadow,
But like,
he
what
can
if
turn and see.
what if it's really he just wants to hit snooze? real
But
quick?
like a
he's just like, I'm not trying to wake up yet.
And if it's a long shadow, that means the sun's at a certain point in the play, and that means
Yeah.
the days are already shortening. Right?
But
there's
a sun
like there's
clock-
some
but like a
type
sun
of
clock-
reasoning
theory to
behind
it.
A sun clock does
it's
that all
all
day, though.
ridiculous.
Well,
so
I
confused.
think they're going by his hibernation
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's a fun
because
way
if
that
he
they
he
used to
comes
tell.
out and if he, I think it's more about like if he feels that he needs to hibernate more, that he actually feels that there's more winter still.
Yeah.
I think that might be where
Oh,
it comes
he
from.
doesn't pop out.
Well, no, he
Yeah.
comes out, but then he'll be like, "Nah, it's still too cold,
cold.
y'all. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back
There's
to
He's
some
got
of
sleep."
that.
that,
He's
too.
got that secret
But
wizard sense.
he's the perfect, yeah, it's the perfect mix of like what we would do
Can you do
100 years ago to figure out the weather, right? We
Yeah.
would put a sundial, or not 100, but you know, a sundial, and then we'd stick our finger up. That's what he's doing for us, right? He's seeing how if the shadow's long and it's a certain part of the day at that part of the year.
But how does that?
then it's
How does
already
that
winter.
tell you
And then
that
if
there's
he's-
6 more weeks of winter?
Well, no, I think that's just a rough estimate of like they can tell what part of the cycle of the seasons that they're in, and again, you can tell by looking
feel
at the
like-
sky and putting up your finger. But he's just a novelty version of that, right?
I feel like it really probably just comes from somebody who was like really lazy and wasn't trying to do any summer work for another 6
I
weeks.
think scientists tried to put this together.
Like at one point, some dude was like, "I'm not doing that yet, and this is why." And
Oh.
that's what we have.
I need 6 more weeks. To
Yeah,
think about
that's what I'm
this.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, he was
I
just
don't-
like, "I'm not ready."
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I don't know
You
yet.
told me
y'all.
you'd fire me in winter, and I talked
I
to
got
my
this
boyfriend.
But see,
Groundhog.
why does his fucking shadow spook him and not the 7,000
what-
people that show up with video cameras and
He's
lights
hot
and
shit.
shit?
He loves it.
Bro, he's
Like,
the
and now he's
Lil
chill
Pump.
with them.
You don't think
but that
can
shadow
animals have that like sense
I'm
of like
surprised
celebrity?
Punxsutawney Phil
Probably.
doesn't have like face tats and chains.
His real
yet.
name
He's
is
a
Lil Phil.
celebrity.
You think
Lil
like
Phil.
His real name's Lil
Lil
Phil.
Phil.
yeah. You think like Ren 1010 like had this huge ego as a dog? Do you think he really recognized how many people
Like
loved
Mr.
him
Ed.
and watched him? Or did he just feel like Roar when everyone loves and watches her? Like, you know, did he understand that he was a celebrity? Do you understand his status? Because
I don't think
everyone
so.
bent to his will, right?
What about
Everyone
Mr.
was, like,
Ed?
Oh, wait.
getting him coffee.
Wait, hold
or
on.
whatever.
This kind of leads into a conversation I was having with one of my homies who's a teacher. And do you think that, okay, so the general consensus is that most animals are not sentient, right? Like where there's very few animals that
they
like
don't-
they
I don't think it's-
they understand a
Yeah,
self
they can't look
thing.
in the mirror.
Yeah.
Self-realization.
But
yeah.
do you think that is across the board, or like, so are all dogs not able to recognize that, or is
Or
there
there's a
the
slight few,
occasional
yeah.
dog
Yeah.
that gets fucking
I think Ghost is
self-awareness?
one of those. Like
I-
she absolutely understands emotional vibes. She gets mad. She gets angry. She gets depressed. I've seen her on all range of emotion, and she definitely understands that she's being trapped and that there's a bigger world out there. She has a
Well, see,
bigger view. Most dogs than
I
I've
put
seen.
I put a mirror in my living room, and so I have the 2 dogs, right, Buddha and Yuki, and Yuki still really doesn't even recognize that that's her, and will just bark and try and run and look out the window
Yeah.
like there's a dog over there. It took Buddha a little bit, but he like genuinely recognizes him, and he'll just stand in the mirror and stare at himself and just be like,
Yeah,
like you
Yeah,
can tell he knows it's him because he's not like worried about it now, but
I saw this wrong. 'Cause
It's weird.
There's no way she's doing this, but I saw a ghost looking in the mirror and doing this. I was like, "You fixing your hair?"
Oh man, yeah. But see, like I have 2 dogs that know they're dogs, but I also have a cat that thinks he's a dog.
same.
Yeah.
So if they know they're dogs, is that self-awareness in the
Yes.
sense
Or
of like...
wait, no, is that
No.
just an example of the trans?
Yeah,
thing?
that's trans cat.
Trans-species.
Elwood is trans species. But
he can be whatever he wants to be.
Yeah.
But no, when it comes down to it,
rough.
I think that we think a lot less of animals than we should.
Yeah.
I think they all have the capacity for some form of emotion, even if they're like primitive emotions. They're still emotions.
I also
like,
think
they
everybody
still-
needs to hold mushrooms at a higher regard. I think
Emotions-
mushrooms might be just as
Yeah.
intelligent as us, if not more intelligent.
Let's get into that.
They could be the reason that we're
something-
here.
Something
Well,
off
no,
of
they
that,
actually
so-
have farmed the entire planet. Like without mushrooms, nothing else would exist.
Well,
They
see,
made
this-
all the
terraformed us.
soil even habitable for anything
Yeah.
to grow. Because pre any plants, there was only mushrooms. There was like
Okay.
proto mushrooms.
So my theory, we came here from either Venus or Mars on the moon as
Yeah.
a spaceship and used the moon and mushrooms to terraform
Yeah.
the planet.
So
If
I
we-
went to school for astrobiology. Like
Yeah.
I did a lot of astrobiology classes and shit. And panspermia is by far my favorite theory of the
Sounds hot.
universe. Yeah.
It's a alien mushrooms, boom.
Yeah, just
and
just
then-
alien material, like because
Yeah.
the world, I mean not the world, but the universe is in a constant state of like creation and destruction. That's just how things go. So when like one planet fucking gets hit by something and it had some type of life on it, those rock chunks are gonna hit something eventually,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
that
so
might
from
be
another-
habitable, and then it just seeds life elsewhere.
From another from another environment, the same kind of processes of evolution happened, but in a way that they were fully self-actualizing mushrooms.
Yeah. No, because okay, did you know that Tokyo
That would
redesigned
be my
their
question. They
entire
can be
subway
intelligent,
system
but
off
then
of a
being
fungus?
self-actualizing.
There's
is
a
different.
fungus that's beyond accurate. So if you put the fungus in one spot, right, and then you put a food source somewhere, it'll find the most direct route always to get to the food source.
Yeah.
Right. So what they did is they put, they laid out this huge map of just like Tokyo, and they put these food sources in all the major cities around Japan. And the fungus found all the most direct routes to the city, and it cut all their traffic down by like 50% or something crazy. Like they let a fungus
Damn.
redesign their entire
That's insane.
transportation system,
That's awesome.
and it's like way more accurate than anything anybody was designing.
Well, I mean, like we are. I think at our base level, like we and mushrooms have a lot in common, just in the fact that like, okay, so are you guys versed in dimethyltryptamine,
Yeah,
DMT?
very much so.
Semi. Yeah, very much so. Semi. Okay, so I think that is something that connects all of us. I think that is that root system that mushrooms have.
Yeah.
What if
Because
that's
if you
consciousness?
see a mushroom, yeah, they could, because we all have those threads that run through us that connect us with everything else.
Yeah.
It's just this being in a third dimension has cut us off from the reality of it.
Everything else.
Yeah, that we are actually pan-dimensional beings living a third-dimensional experience. And so we're cut off because without this third-dimensional experience, we would just be these...
Well, the third
We'd be-
dimension's important because that's what adds like that's what makes things physical. Like
Yeah.
pre that, it's not really a physical thing. So
Now, see,
everything.
you brought up a good. Okay, so
I think we just
if
slid in here
DMT
because it was
we've talked
easier to
about-
manage shit. You know.
yeah, if DMT is we've talked about it being a chemical portal before, and if that actually sold me back, I was gonna argue that entire time, and actually sold me back around because if that chemical portal exists in objects and plants and animals, then they have the option to understand the fourth dimension as well.
Right. Well, because
And-
what's the
and that
main
is self-actualization.
component
Yeah, so
of
if-
psilocybin?
Yeah. So,
DMT.
Yeah. So if
I
mushrooms
don't know.
have that, like, that's what I'm saying. If mushrooms are making decisions, also wait, weird side note
Yeah.
that I just
Well, they
I
are
feel like
making
everyone should know. Did you know
decisions.
that mushrooms are like, they also inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide just
Oh,
like us?
really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They're not the other way around like a
Yeah.
plant.
Love
That's
it.
just a dope. That's just a dope little fact. But yeah, if they also have DMT like in them and they think clearly because we're
Yeah.
letting them make decisions about transportation,
Now I'm gonna
like
start
they
some
would
heat.
also have
I'm gonna
some
start
type
some heat
of
between you two because we've had conversations about Sophia, and so have we.
I love
And,
Sophia.
You have complete opposite opinions on this, so I'm gonna bring it up and start
Oh,
some
I
beef.
love Sophia.
Okay.
His point is he does not think that she's awake. He thinks, explain yourself.
Well, I mean, a lot of the things that I've seen with her where they've interviewed her, all of the questions are like she already has her answers queued up.
Well, she's
the
thinking
questions
and
are
deciding answers though. They didn't program
No, it
her.
used
with
to
all the
be
answers.
like that. Yes, but did you know that she has like she's gone to school at this point? I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I'm not down for it.
Okay, yeah, no. So she has like an actual degree now, and like she's not. There's no like she's linked up to the internet like your phone is. And
Right. She just has infinite knowledge.
Yeah, she has infinite knowledge.
Yep.
And that's why it takes her a second now to respond. But like she's really out here answering these questions.
But is she
now.
awake? That's the real.
I don't
question.
think she's
That's the
awake.
debate.
I think she is because there was an interview like a couple months ago where somebody had asked her if she dreams, and she says she thinks so because whenever she's powered down, she remembers things from being powered down,
Yeah.
and that's pretty crazy.
That's fucked up.
Dream.
Yeah,
But
that's
see,
pretty crazy.
I don't know
She
if
wants
that.
to know
I
what
don't know
love
if
is. She
dreams
gets
are like
angry.
relative to. I don't think it's dreaming, but like there's some kind of like leftover
Does she have
thought
consciousness?
process.
That's
Well,
the
she
question, right?
recognizes that she's not human. She knows that there's a difference between
But
her and us.
you admitted that mushrooms could be conscious. So like, why couldn't a really intelligent robot?
Because
be conscious?
no, that's
so do you
not
think
it.
we just
It's-
can't create consciousness?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think
so it
that's
has
something.
To come be, oh,
That's I
It's like
think,
a
you don't think we can
biological
pull
thing?
it?
yeah.
in?
I don't think that you
Okay,
can
so-
pull it in. I don't think it can
What
settle
about
in.
Okay, but
transferring?
wait. So
transferring
here's a
consciousness.
good point that we used to talk about in one of my classes, like the astrobiology class.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole class was just a bunch of people being high and talking about life on other planets, which is like dope. But
It's theoretical.
so here
to a
everything,
sense, right?
but everything is carbon based. Well, we have to use like
Real science,
fact
but
to
it's-
back it up. Yeah. But so everything here is carbon based, right? But say way the fuck out in the universe in another galaxy, there's any other hard material base. So say it's like silicon based or even a metal based. So say
Right.
say it's a metal
Titty
base.
world.
Yeah, like say it's iron.
Look at 'em.
Iron or
Yeah, I got
steel
you.
or something like that. That is a biological robot.
Yeah.
Like it's a robot to us because it's all metal based instead of carbon based.
And
Well, no, they
consciousness
would
is
need
an
a-
occurrence, right? And so it
There
could
has to
occur.
be a catalyst for life
any kind
to
of
form
biological
on,
life,
but
right?
we don't know if carbon is the only one. You see what I mean?
No. I feel that because we found fucking like organisms that are fuck. What are they made of? We found they're like in volcanoes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're like made of sulfur or some shit. Like they're sulfur
primarily
based.
sulfur. Yeah.
Yeah, so that like I know
And they
that's
feed off
tangible.
sulfur.
So if there were a being that had so we're carbon.
Yeah.
We're a hard substance.
Yeah.
Technically. So I don't think that the distinguishment between
But we're
like-
also mostly water.
Yeah,
so if
that's
like
true.
water's not a thing. I mean,
You wouldn't be
there's-
squishy.
I think that there's no reason why Sophia can't exist naturally and have consciousness. And she's
because
just
does
in her
intelligence pull consciousness.
She's in her caveman point, but we are just fucking running that on hyper speed. Like we're
Yeah.
getting her to
Oh, I see. what
where
you're saying.
we are
going
quick.
through the evolution.
Yeah, we just
processes.
boosted it all.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to start from like one tiny little metal fucking bacteria or something.
absolutely
I don't-
Metal
no
based
way
bacteria.
to know.
no,
is the
that's
thing.
the
It's
thing
just
is though.
weird. It's a weird thing because like you don't know where it's gonna go.
I just don't.
Oh,
think,
for sure, and it's fucking terrifying because it's like these people that are making this thing grew up watching these films, and what we do is we bring science fiction into reality.
I was talking about that with him. I was like, what are really the odds that every single thing that we have almost, well, I mean, I won't say
Wanna
every
swing
single
that
thing
door
because there's,
a couple times.
yeah, it's pretty smoky in here.
I can barely see, bro.
Yeah, I don't even smoke cigarettes, so it's crazy. But anyway, so almost everything we've
See what you made me do?
ever written about in science fiction
Fuck shit.
became science fact.
Oh yeah, everything.
Like, what are the odds of that?
Well, it's what we do. We bring things into reality. We're manifestors.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, so that's why I hate when people say like, that's impossible. Because like people used to read science fiction in the 20s and be like, oh,
Yeah.
that's impossible. Electric cars,
Yeah.
I just
What's
feel
that
like a
even mean?
robot will never be able to be
rocket
conscious
ships.
because we haven't mastered our own consciousness.
Yeah,
Like,
going to the moon.
how could you bring consciousness
figured out
into
what it
something?
is.
It's all just science fact now.
Yeah.
Well, see, this brings up the point of switching bodies because, like, Bill Gates, Tesla, and all them are like working on getting their consciousness into
Oh, you're talking about the 2020
humanoids.
project.
Yeah, and they say that they've accomplished and can go back
No,
and
have you
forth.
seen the so
And so, if you can move consciousness, you could summon consciousness. If that's even,
oh, okay, I feel you.
So
Yeah, that's
it
a solid
see
point.
a lot of people say consciousness is a natural occurrence that is a phenomena, right?
Yeah.
But if we so is traffic, it's like
Yeah.
if we can master and found a formula to phenomena, right? So if there's a possibility that if we found out how to summon, that we could transfer.
Thanks.
But
I feel
that's
that, I
still
feel that.
not sure. I'm still not sure if you can go. There's no way for me to know unless I did it personally. And even then, it could be a scheme. It's like,
Well, something that we used to talk about in that class also is that, like, so, I mean, all your neural activity is electrical impulses, right?
yeah.
And
Well, see, they could transfer your
what
memories.
I was about
but
to
what
say
if you weren't
is,
awake and you just were running over?
no, yeah.
What if you were
I
just
feel that.
goggles running through memories and faking new ones?
Yeah.
Like there's a possibility that it's not real consciousness. That consciousness can't
It's just
be
like a copy.
faked.
But
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the thing is that, so we, like, our brain deteriorates. We already know that our brain is not the best, the best, I guess, catalyst, I would say, to, like, moving all these electrical impulses around. It deteriorates. We have, like, neurological
Yeah.
diseases. Our neurons, like, break down over time and whatever. So, if we discover a better catalyst of moving these electrical impulses around, why is that not a good move?
But then you get into the argument of whether whether or not consciousness is something that can be transferred.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can.
I'm on team it is.
Okay, so if you were to hook your brain up to a computer, do you think that how you view the world would transfer over?
They could copy. See, I know they could copy it.
Yeah, right now
But
I don't think it's 100%, but also, like Elon Musk's the Neuralink thing that he's trying to do. They just released that thing saying that they successfully did it with whatever primate it was. It was either a chimp or a orangutan. It was some type of primate, but they did the Neuralink thing, like
Mm.
moving the consciousness into like a digital form. That's his whole thing, is like controlling
into
technology.
data
Yeah,
somehow.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
And
like. What?
he
How
said
did they
he
figure
said
out the
that they have
formula?
successfully done it with the primate or whatever. It was probably a chimp, but like I don't know who is approving him for the human trial. I don't know who even is in charge of that.
Okay.
But I mean, they're gonna do a human trial. And
For
then
sure.
what if it does work? Because I mean, there's those people that are like vegetables in the hospital. They
Right.
can't move, and they link their body up to a mouse on like
Avatar.
on a computer screen. Have you seen that? And like they can move the mouse and click on shit. They retrain their brain to move this mouse instead of their body.
They've had that technology for a long time.
And yeah,
They
that's
can
been
read
around since,
neural
like,
signals
the
and
early
shit.
2000s.
Right,
Dude,
but that's
like,
but what you take once you take the brain offline though, once you kill that brain, does it continue? Does your consciousness
No,
move over?
And that's what I'm saying, is
truly?
they're trying to figure out how that is stored, like
'Cause it
so
could
that it's
act
no,
like
there's
you
no,
and think like
so that
you, but
there's
you
no
might be
loss
dead.
between
You'd
it.
be
That's what they're
gone.
working
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
that's a question.
But that's the
That's
thing.
the
But then
main
doesn't
question.
that call in the question of a soul?
I mean,
Is
but
your
what-
soul
what
your
is that?
consciousness?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Nobody knows what
that's
it is.
kind of what I've
But the
always
other thing is,
assumed,
like,
that we're talking about
maybe
the same thing.
maybe we need, like, the Neuralink thing, like when they do a human trial or whatever and try and just transfer somebody over to like a digital form, right? For the first time, that might be when we finally figure out what the fuck a soul is. You know what I mean? Like doing some weird shit like that is really pushing the bounds of what we even think is supposed to be normal. That might help us figure out some of these like crazy things that seem like this intangible thing where you're like, what is a soul? And everybody's been saying that since like we've been
I never
conscious,
liked the
you know
whole,
what I mean? Like, what
the
is that soul?
weighs a certain amount and they can see it leave the body.
Oh yeah,
like
I've
I still
seen
have
that.
21 grams.
I have something in the back of my head that tells me that is just like density from like extra static electricity. There'd be a lot of other reasons I feel like that a still trying to keep a live body would weigh a little bit more than one without it. So you want to call it life force, but it may just be like electricity or something easier to explain. Magnetism.
Maybe it's whatever we still don't know dark matter is.
And not as dense. I don't know.
By the way, I'd like to announce I finished this. I made it through.
Oh god, I haven't gone through mine yet. Has everybody gone through theirs?
I ran through mine.
Ugh. That's my turn.
He's like, I don't want it so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly the shit I want to talk about. I love how we started off. We started off donkey fucking, and now talking about the soul.
Yeah.
Well, no, I feel like
it out.
I feel like our soul is what our actual consciousness is, and we are tethering it to a third dimensional experience. Now, I don't know, like when it comes down to transferring your consciousness onto a hard drive or into a program or into an android or a robot
or another biological thing,
or you could maybe that, but why?
Oh,
why would you do that? So you don't know what happens after this.
True.
So you don't know that, after this you are catapulted through the universe into something more grand, like into something else.
It's kind of like imprisoning yourself here.
Oh, yeah. Weird.
So why would you want to stay?
Okay, I feel that. But also,
what if I never considered that.
Yeah, no,
I never thought of that. What if there's some amazing gift at the end, and we just keep prolonging this torture set up for the gift?
That's true. But also, so what if the scary part of all of it? So like, what if the soul thing is really just so? I mean, there's no real proof that your pineal gland produces DMT or whatever, except for in that study with the rats or whatever that they just had. But I mean, we're pretty like sure.
It's a gland.
I mean, we've smoked DMT from the pineal gland of a sheep.
Yeah, but what I was about to say is, what if the DMT is the catalyst to that like electrical impulse that makes the soul? Do you see what I mean?
Well, no, they do think that the pineal gland.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that those electrical impulses meeting that DMT like center of the brain is what
it's an element, right?
Soul.
It's an element, just like what you would consider your consciousness, right? It exists. It weighs something.
I think they are the same thing. I think your consciousness. I think your soul sparks your body.
About? You blew my mind just then. I was like, when was that?
When
did we smoke?
I was thinking.
I've definitely had DMT taken from the pineal gland of a sheep.
When was that?
It was a long time ago. It was.
We've had a lot of different types and made it, and but still, I don't. That's one that, I mean, I don't remember most of my life. But.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite of what's his name? The old what's his name? Name the oldest rock star that you can living.
Keith Richards.
Yes. I knew it would come out right away. But yes, he said that, like, not only have I lived this long, I've been awake for most of it.
Yeah.
Oh. And because he's not, for the average person, over the years, he's probably the equivalent of slept like 2 days
like that,
or 2 hours a day.
In my in my soul.
And so he's been awake for his whole life. I'm the exact opposite. I've been absolutely... I don't remember anything from my life.
Like, I remember that whole sentence in my soul. So
You've been awake?
I feel like I've been. I don't sleep much.
I stay asleep.
I just recently, in the last couple years of my life, have like taught myself how to sleep. Like, that is so fucking important.
Oh, I love sleep.
Oh, yeah, sleep's like the most important thing you can do for yourself.
No, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. And even when I wasn't sleeping, I knew that shit, but I just felt like I had shit to do. And, okay, so here's the thing. He knows this because he's been over to my studio, but on my chalkboard, I keep a track of how many days I've been alive.
He made me look mine
I change it every day. And I think everybody should know how many days that they've been alive, because it really lights a fire under you every day to, like, accomplish some shit.
Yeah.
Because I realized, so I'm coming up, less than 100 days away now from being
spending
alive
your life
10,000 days.
Yeah.
And
No matter how much money you get, you only have a certain amount.
Put it into
of
perspective
days.
for me that like at best a human only gets like 40,000 days, like at best.
Yeah.
So, like it really, as you're fucking ticking off,
I'm
those
over
days,
10,000. He's right
It really
under.
makes you every morning be like, because I have a to-do list right next to how many days I've been alive, and every day I check shit off that list, so that every day I'm actually doing some shit.
Yeah, I
you know
like
what I
that.
mean?
That's a good one.
I
Yeah.
need to buy,
I really enjoy that.
like 12 packs of mirrors and bust my head into them. Put 'em on there.
Hell yeah,
Get
just
the day
just
started.
take a few days off of that
I don't do
fucking check
coffee.
mark.
It's a great way. You look yourself in the eyes and then you meet your eyes with your eyes.
Yeah. And then once you've
Aggressively
pulled
as
the
fuck.
shards out of your face, you can start your
It's
day.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than coffee, and it'll teach you a lot more. Maybe you'll get more done.
Yeah,
today,
to teach you
pussy.
how to do
You
surgery.
fucking.
I
pussy.
love how
Construction.
you said something extremely genuine and heartgot and
And we turned it
very
into that.
intelligent. And Toby, he's just like, that makes me think about death. It's like, just gotta take this right off the rails
No,
real quick.
I made him
Use
look
it as
up how many
motivation.
days he had been alive, and he immediately, I could tell he was
No,
like,
I got
"Fuck this."
scared because you were under 10,000. I was over, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, 10 grand's gotta be like
Yeah.
a point.
Yeah.
That's like a segment of your life.
10,000, yeah, that's a
10,000,
big point. That's
It was
why
a Tool
I was glad
album.
that I figured out.
No one remembers that.
I've been counting down since,
But see,
I mean, like
I think
right
there's a
after
connection because it's around
9,000,
28.
like something like that. So like I've been doing this for like almost 1,000 days.
Yeah.
What is a day?
24 hours.
No, that's a real. No, he's
Who
got
made
a
that
real
up?
question.
No,
You
that,
did
that
make
that's
that
true.
up.
And that's
I'm on
wrong.
his side
It's
on
like
this.
20.
Somebody made
It's
that
like
up.
23 point whatever.
Well, so I'm totally down for the fact that time is a construct and it's
Yeah.
something that we've been taught
Yeah.
how to perceive.
Well, it's an Earth Day. Me and him were talking. Oh wait, you and me were talking about that. Where if we all moved to Mars,
I think we came
Your-
from Mars.
your day would be way longer. Or
That's
whatever.
why you would move here, right? So you'd live longer.
But you would to your perception because you'd already been like
You'd live longer
acquainted
on
with
Mars.
the Earth Day.
No, you die quicker.
No, yeah,
on
no,
Mars.
you would think that you're aging
Right?
quicker. So you'd be like, I look like shit for 40, and really it's been
So time
longer
dilation
than
would
that.
be different. Like, okay, so I thought the days would be longer on Mars, right?
Yeah, they are longer.
So you would age differently. Your cellular structure would age differently
Oh, but
because
you're counting
you
your
age.
days.
You age due to your mind. Your mind controls everything that happens to your body. Your mind
So
tells
you
your
think you
body
would
what
actually
to do.
slow down aging?
I think
I
you
think-
can. I think that's a total possibility. If you
I think in a couple generations. Yeah.
Okay, I think if a human being were able to convince themselves that time did not exist, they could be immortal.
Okay, I feel you.
Because
You
it's
can
about
fully
your
convince
cells.
yourself,
As
but-
long as you're
convinced myself
Yeah,
time didn't exist.
Is
before.
that possible?
well,
I
no,
convince
but like
yourself.
if you convince yourself that because the only thing that your brain tells your cells to stop regenerating.
Yeah.
So
You're
if
like,
if
they're
your
like,
cells,
we've had a,
Yeah,
no.
look at all those
Yeah.
guys living in caves without clocks that are doing great.
I don't keep a phone on me. Like, I don't have a phone because I don't want to know what time it is. I'm super serious.
He has a phone. He literally just leaves it at his house when he comes to kick
Yeah,
it because he
anytime I
doesn't
go
like
anywhere.
having it on him.
I don't like looking at the time. I didn't watch TV for a long time.
okay,
Like, for a long time. It was like
You just like being
I
cut
don't know.
off.
I was answering
No,
some
but there's
shit.
like
I don't-
there's the
yeah,
end
I was
of
thinking.
that. I mean, but not realizing time, and then the few times that time will be time and shoved in your face, it will be recognizable. All those times that you didn't care about it, you know.
Oh, true.
Like, it is a fact in a sense. Like, I don't think that we have a society built for someone to get to the point of never realizing time. And again, back to
I
the
think a
question,
lot
why
of
would you want
people are miserable because everything's based off of time.
oh for sure, because you only
Because
have
you're-
so many hours in a day and so many
Yeah, I
days
mean,
in
look
a
at
week.
me. I'm
Thanks.
counting my fucking days alive, and
Yeah.
that's all time shit. But I felt that was a more important time to keep than it's noon or 1 or 2. You know
Let's
what I mean?
try
Because
to,
I
like-
have 40,000 days. I should probably keep track of those. Who cares that it's 2:00 in
Well,
the
no, see,
afternoon?
even then, like where we're getting even with like with technological advances in medicine and things like that, you're already going to be able to live to over 100. Like, think of all the things that are going to happen between now and the time you're even fucking
no,
30,
no,
35.
If,
you know what I mean?
If you pick the right
this
things,
goes
it's
into
a
that
gamble,
conversation
though,
we
on
were.
a lot of these things,
This goes into that conversation we were having before, but he already knows this. So, like, the 2020 project is literally a global consciousness project of like all the smartest people on the planet,
When
like
you
all
say
these
that, it scares the shit out of
physicists
me.
and everything. Yeah, but the whole goal of the 2020, I mean, not 2020, 2045 project is to be able to 100% transfer human consciousness to a different avatar made of nanorobot technology that replicates like cells. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole goal, is by 2045 to be able to accomplish that. Like, humans.
Is that going to be
being
readily available to everyone?
like,
Will
I mean,
everyone
there's
have
obviously
that?
going to be a price tag, but I
Yeah,
think
see,
their
it's
whole
gonna be
thing
all
was
the
like
rich
anybody
people.
who donates.
I already see
gets-
the end of it.
See, that's the bullshit. That's the
Yeah.
bullshit part of it. That's when you get an uprising, and that's when you get a dying planet, because they'd
Yeah.
rather focus on doing that shit than
Yeah.
saving the planet and working on actual like medicines to take care of people. So you can fucking you could make it plenty of nanorobots to fix everyone, because if you ingest those nanorobots, they can be programmed to heal your fucking body from the inside out.
That's the first step, but
I
they're
want
talking about
robots in me.
whole figures made of so you wouldn't just be like a humanoid robot. You would actually be made up of like billions of tiny nanorobots that are replicating all
But we
the
can
cells in
already
the body.
do this.
But that's
on
what we
a
are.
Spirit
Yeah,
level,
no, I know.
right?
That's
So
what
we're
Is- so what they're-
all
what
we're
I'm-
trying to do
what I
is
was
bring
saying,
the
though-
fourth dimension to the third
Yeah,
dimension.
what I was
like,
saying, though,
bringing
is
the
what we're trying
powers
to
of the
do
fourth
is-
dimension
Yeah.
to the third dimension, because there's immortality, there is a change of being, anything you could really ever imagine in the fourth dimension. And so we're just trying to make those things a reality on this planet.
You don't think that's already
and
happened?
it just seems futile to me.
I think that's already happened.
Like, maybe we should just die.
Hell yeah, Toby's
Well, I
had a
feel
few
like-
drinks. He's getting there.
Yo, I'm hyped that everybody should just die.
No.
Next
That's not
song,
good.
got it. Already got it written.
And we should get that guy
It's a-
to
yeah.
do the cover. The
Mm.
guy that we
But
found
look,
a
have
bit-
you ever
a
played
death
Fallout?
wish.
You ever played Fallout?
Mhm.
Fallout.
Think of the
I
point.
played that last one.
Like, think of the point of Fallout,
That post-apocalyptic.
but like Fallout 4 specifically, like with the sense
I
and
never
the
played it.
whole, like, if you think of the point of that game, I feel like there was like a message in that game. Like, people were fighting with the robots, and that's where the world ended.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
And it's like I Am Legend. Like, every situation where robots come in entertainment.
You mean iRobot?
Yeah, iRobot.
It's a
I Am
different
Legend.
Will
I Am
Smith
Legend
movie.
was
Yeah, my bad,
also
my bad.
hashtag Will Smith.
But it's like every
There is a reason.
Bring that
entertainment
back.
scenario shows that like this is gonna happen. But it's like, why would we chance that happening? You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, we're waking
That's
them
what-
up.
well, that's what
if we can
humans
wake them
do.
up, why would we?
Because I think everybody subconsciously wants that to happen. I think we want to
Yeah, that's
fight
what I'm
an
saying.
army of
Yeah,
robots.
no,
I think
that's
we
what I'm
want to
saying, is
fight zombies.
We already wrote
We need
about it in
something to
science
bring
fiction,
us
so it
together.
has to be fact.
Yeah.
We need something to bring us together. Remember, bring Reagan into this.
Oh, okay.
Or like,
Yeah, well, yeah, that
Like,
was...
It gives us all
if
a
it's not,
common
if
enemy.
the aliens won't present themselves publicly, maybe
Dude,
we need to
they're-
make our own
yeah.
worst enemy.
Right,
We'll
right,
come
right,
together
right.
as a human race.
I think disclosure
kill the robots together. Come at me, robots.
Yeah, I really think
No,
that
I'm
disclosure of alien species and our interactions with them are going to be brought to the light pretty soon.
There's videos on aliens on the internet.
Mm.
Oh, for sure.
There's
More
tons
and more
of them.
people seem to
UFOs.
be more comfortable about talking about it.
Maybe.
That most recent one I watched, I forget the names, but it was a Joe Rogan, and they didn't even tell him not to disclose it. It got to a point, to where it was so common that there's plenty of people
Are you
out there
talking
that
about
never
Bob
got
Lazar?
told. No.
Oh.
It was just a couple days ago.
Oh.
But they had a lot of UFO experience. And
Shout out Tommy
sightings
DeLong.
Oh my God, that guy.
But I like that it got to a point too, to where they're like, you don't even get briefed when you see that shit in
Yeah.
the military anymore.
Yeah.
Like they just all right, go
That's
home.
what
Yeah,
it
that was a
is.
UFO. Like we don't know what the fuck that is. Go
They've
home.
released.
Like,
They've said they released it. Like, there's footage on the
Has
internet
everyone
from
in this
planes and
room
stuff.
seen a UFO?
Yep. I've seen
have-
plenty.
Have you
Something
have you
close.
seen them on psychedelics?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
count those.
so I had 2 UFO sightings that we literally tried to chase them down while we were on acid in Colorado in a car. It was pretty fucking sketchy, but
They've got a lot of
we like
sightings there, too.
followed UFOs, like saw them and just kept following them, and then eventually they just disappeared. But we were tripping. But
Oh, yeah.
I've also seen one UFO not tripping.
Yeah.
So
I saw one as recently as a couple months ago.
the last one I saw was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the second time I saw one tripping, and it flew like right over me and my homie, and then like took off the other way. Then I knew that we had some really good acid, but I knew I wasn't just like bugging out because we both saw the same shit,
Right.
Like, and we were confirming it,
Yeah.
with each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yo, this is making me uncomfortable. I'm an alien.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all are.
We found
Technically,
them.
we.
Mhm.
I don't think
They
human
just
beings
adopted me. I
were
don't-
were started here.
I'm just playing. I'm not an alien.
Because it really shows, like, you know how people used to be real short?
Yeah,
I think we were actually pretty tall to begin with. And once we got here, the first generation born here with this gravity, shorter, because
Yeah.
the gravity was more strong.
There's stories of like giants and stuff.
And then everybody just got,
way back.
we got a little more used to it. That's why, like, we're not used to this gravity on this planet. That's why people have posture problems. 'Cause-
also cell phones.
yeah. You think cell phones deal with people's posture? I mean, like, I guess if you're just, like, down looking at it like
That
this.
phone neck, that little bump in the back of the neck.
Nerd neck?
yeah,
Where people, like, lurch forward and
Yeah,
shit like that?
That's real
That's
life.
facts.
That's when motherfuckers end up with hunchback when they're old.
Yeah. Well, also, I watched. I've been telling him he should watch it. There was this podcast that I watched. Damn, I can't even remember the guy's name right now. Goggins is his last name.
David Goggins?
Yeah, the fitness guy who's
Yeah.
like ex-Navy and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was saying that he was like 6'1" or whatever, and so you know his story, kind of like he's just like run his body into the fucking ground,
Right.
like to the point of like most people in the history of people have probably never pushed their body as far as him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
But-
a fucking wild man.
Yeah, he's crazy. But he was saying that so he was 6'1" like once he like finished puberty and all that. So he was supposed to be like 6'1" or 6'2". And then after he had basically ran his body into the ground, he was it was like 5'11" or something. And he went to go see this doctor, and like the doctor had told him that he would need some ridiculous amount of like his body was so just compacted from all this like stress on his body that he would need some crazy shit like 50,000 hours of stretching to stretch out his body
Damn.
and shit. And he said he started stretching 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night,
Yeah.
and he's back to 6'1", and he feels better than he's ever felt in his life. And he was like, and this is somebody who's done like multiple like 100-mile runs. He was like in the Navy. He like his body has been through all types of different shit. And he said if there is anything that he can stress to people, is stretching is incredibly important for your health.
Yeah.
And he was like, I have turned my entire health around. He was like, I thought I was never going to be able to work out, never going to be able to run, never going to be able to do anything physical ever again. And he was like, just by stretching every day a lot, he
Get
has
your blood
completely,
flow
he has
back,
completely, he said yoga is not just something you should laugh at. It's something you should for real be doing every day. Like they should be teaching it at schools. That's how important it is. He's like, fuck the whole PE class thing. Like kids should be out here stretching.
Well, they're already doing activity. I mean,
Yeah.
I go in. I'm horrible. Like when I work out, I just like go to the weights.
I stretch a little
Like,
bit
that
before and
shit.
after, but like I just have been like trying to stretch more ever
Yeah.
since I watched that. I'm not doing yoga out here. Joe Rogan said he's out here doing hot yoga.
I do mad
Yeah.
yoga.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of yoga.
You should.
Like, dude, I got like professional yoga mats.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll set that shit up.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing yoga.
Oh damn! I was like, what the fuck is that?
But like,
It was the aliens.
Yeah.
We just haven't brought him in yet.
Or it's like, hell yeah, I'm chilling.
they tried to reverse rate us.
Reverse raid. So that'd be a
It was
reverse
like
raid.
instead
would
of
be-
us rating the aliens, they rated us. Like the dog tried to, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was like, yeah.
Like we were gonna raid Area 51, but Area
Yeah,
51
yeah,
just
yeah,
raided
yeah.
everyone
Yeah, what was
else.
up with
Yeah.
that? What was up with the like the running? They were just gonna run.
The
It was a
No, it was
meme.
the
It was a
Naruto
meme.
run.
It was like you with your hands behind your back, lean down.
It was a
Running
you
really
can't
fast.
stop
you can't
all
legally
of us.
shoot me with if I don't
They
have a
can't
weapon.
legally shoot you.
No,
That's
they-
like a bombing
if you have your
range.
hands
Yeah, they
behind.
totally can
It just
legally
turned
shoot
into a
you.
What is
party
a bombing
though.
Because
Like,
you're
there was
on,
like people. There was like DJs
private
out there.
property.
and
Yeah,
it was like
facts.
I mean, shit. Like
Like,
a Texan can kill.
They didn't
anyone
rush
in
it.
their
It was a
yard.
joke. The dude came out on the news and said it was a joke, but like people took it super serious at first, and then he came out on the news and was like, "No, this is a joke." After the people dropped a warning, and they were like, "Hey, if
Yeah.
we will use lethal force, like if you come here."
I'll fucking kill you.
Like it's a bombing range. Why would you want to run up on a bombing range? I'm straight. That's
They
Yeah.
haven't bombed shit there in a long time, so
They're just like fucking get in your place. They were just letting everybody know like some shit to fuck.
But did you
run
see
off
that
on
those
them.
guys from I think it was like Sweden or Norway or something like that? They're like YouTubers from Sweden. They went there. They were trying to. They had the idea on their YouTube page that if they just showed up a couple days before everyone was supposed to show up, that they could actually make it in. And it was
Oh,
like 3
nice.
guys that have a YouTube page, and they filmed the whole thing, and they made it like 4 miles or 5 miles into because it's like the base is actually like 10, 11 miles into like their whole area or some
Yeah.
shit like that. But they made it like 4 or 5 miles in before somebody caught them, and now they're like super fucked.
yeah.
But they actually like they made it like 5 miles in.
Oh man. Well, good on them for doing that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Free them.
I think you should have tunneled.
nah.
if
They
you're
can
gonna
keep
go
them.
in,
That's
yeah.
dumb. It's a dumb thing to do.
You guys know.
I don't even think that they really have anything there anymore. And if they do, it's
No,
like
they moved it.
leftover.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's
so
so known
shut
about.
the fuck up.
like-
you know they're real. Just accept that they're real. They'll
I mean,
tell us eventually, but we
they
know.
probably already figured it out and brought the shit back to space. We got some.
Yeah.
I do think that they should
Shit
be
out there.
pressured into fucking telling us.
Yeah,
And, like,
like
our-
the exact
they should
nature
know our
of the
awareness.
relationship with them.
They should know
yeah.
the public's awareness of it. Like, I think little things like that is good. I'm not gonna go, but I would
Well,
send people.
I had another good
Right?
conversation one time about how
Everyone should go.
maybe the issue is that so obviously at one point everything was just paper documents,
Right.
and just recently we've switched everything over to computers, but I saw that, or we were talking one time about how there might have been some type of loss of information about a lot of the shit just in the transfer of everything to computers, because one, there was a lot of shit they probably didn't want to transfer to computers because they were like, nah, this
Oh yeah, I'm
exists
sure a
somewhere
lot
that
of
someone can
a lot
hack
of
it.
shit got lost in the transition.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, there's probably a lot of information that we will never know about that's just pre-computers that like maybe a couple people still know about or whatever. That's kind of like handed down to some people, but like a lot of that shit's probably gone.
I don't think we'll ever know the real bad stuff.
Facts.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever know that. Like,
That's why there's the news.
well, it's like I'm also
No, not the real bad stuff. The news is there for like, so we focus on other things.
oh for sure. Well, I mean, like, who fucking watches
Oh,
the news anymore?
Well, it gets
Like,
more and
a
more
lot of people watch
drastic
it.
to keep people interested because, like,
Facts.
they can't tell the real bad things, but people feed and feed, and the more that they don't get satisfied by how, horrified they are of the world,
yeah.
they gonna search deeper and find actual truths.
Yeah.
So like, it's getting more and more where they have to release some fucked up shit.
It's the same
like,
as
and
that
it's gonna
like
get
light
worse and worse to
pollution
where maybe some
conspiracy.
truth is coming out through
You
it.
know about that?
Right?
The what?
The light pollution conspiracy. It's like the same thing as that. Like
But
how
it's
we
also
have
conditioning
so
us,
much
right?
lights everywhere that we don't. Nobody pays attention to the sky anymore. That's why everybody's like just so focused on like themselves and work and whatever. It was to be like a more efficient person. So like you're not looking up and wondering what the fuck's out there anymore.
Right.
Like you're just like,
It's a cult.
I'm here. This is what everything is. And if you think about it, it really is kind of like that. Nobody thinks outside the box. I mean, not nobody, but the vast majority is just so worried about their phone and their family and whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
That like, and it's because you're so cut off. Like they cut us off from everything outside of the earth. You know what I mean? You can't see past all the light.
Well,
pollution.
I think there's something
Unless
to
you're
be said.
isolated somewhere.
There's something to be said about like the humbling experience that is. to
Yeah.
notice how small you are in the universe.
It's
in
a
those
big part
moments.
of being human.
Oh yeah, to realize how insignificant and fast your life goes by.
And everything is accessible wherever you are within an hour.
Yeah.
So a lot of people never make it outside of light pollution. So like when people see those pictures of like up in the Rocky Mountains of like the sky where you can see like the whole Milky Way and shit like that.
Yeah.
They think that that's just like some photoshopped picture and like it's from like a t-shirt or some shit. Like, no, that's really what the fuck is right there.
Yeah.
You just can't see it ever.
Yep. Oh man, that's why I love being in the mountains.
Same.
Me too.
I used to live with like 2 semi-professional rock climbers, so they were always being like, "Yo,
See, I
come up
don't-
in the mountains."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy to just like go up there and see stuff that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Some people never leave a city. It's like
Well,
all they know is the city. So
There are
that's-
some
I see
people
what
that
you're
never
saying.
leave like
Their
within
hometown.
3 blocks of their house.
Facts.
No.
Like,
But it's like at the same time that could be blamed on a lot of things. That could be blamed on like who they are as a person. That could be blamed on the media. That could be blamed on so much stuff.
well, there's a lot to be said about like where people grow up. Like,
Facts.
I think that the thing that's gonna change us as a human population is proper nutrition and food deserts.
Fact.
Like that's how you're gonna get rid of the poverty line. But that's a whole other thing about our government wanting to keep poverty-stricken people. You want to keep poor people poor. That's why
Yeah.
the middle class is disappearing. It's because everybody's just becoming poor now because inflation keeps increasing, but wages stay low as fuck.
And also how like obesity is primarily a poor problem,
Mm-hmm.
which is really counterintuitive because you would think if you had more money you would be eating more food, but if you're just eating better food,
Right.
so like
Your body processes it better.
yeah, exactly. So like if you're broke, you're eating McDoubles
Yep.
Facts. And like
and like
frozen
7 of
burgers
them.
and shit.
Yeah. Because you got $7 and
Yeah, exactly.
you're fucking
You're
hungry.
eating 7 of them. Whereas, like, if you're rich, you're eating like one good real burger, and it was $7. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
We had some fire tacos yesterday. They were pretty cheap.
Shout out
actually.
Miss G.
Shout out to that Mexican place.
It's down on Rossville Boulevard.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
what's
little
up.
red building.
Yeah. Is
Like
it
a
good?
By
Yeah,
far
it
the
was
best.
good.
It's like I was saying, I haven't had like actual good any Spanish food here.
Yeah.
Or like Mexican food or
You can say
anything.
Hispanic.
Yeah, Hispanic
Hispanic?
food. Well, no, I just mean in general, like
Yeah.
any
It's
of that
Latinx
any
now,
of
by
that
the
ethnic
way.
food from those regions. Since I was in Colorado,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is what I wanted this whole time. She's
Colorado.
Hell yeah.
It's like $2.50 per taco, but
Okay.
like she's whipping them up herself, and they're fire.
Hell yeah.
Fresh green chili sauce.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm
I was
hungry.
like, I'll buy a tub
Yeah.
of this.
But like I think the big thing that's going to fix the human population is proper nutrition, proper education, and clean water.
Yeah,
I think those are the
Water is
biggest
Facts.
thing.
Clean water is like the most important thing ever.
Well, I mean, we've been putting fluoride in it since the Second World War.
yeah.
because-
Second shout out to this weird artist. Last night, he had, the one that I liked, he had like a straw in a lake, and it said "drinking the good water."
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like
Shout out
that
to
one.
that guy.
That was
Um,
fire.
It's just like that shit calcifies your pineal gland.
Yep.
That shit makes you more suggestible, dumbs you down. And like, so the best thing to do is like go get water at like a Whole Foods.
Hashtag fuck that tap water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like again, if you're poor, you can't go out
And
or
just
you
get
don't
bottled.
even you don't think to go out and spend
Purified
39 cents for a gallon of water.
Yeah.
Like, cause if you go to like even Walmart or Whole Foods, they have those water dispensers of like high pH and reverse osmosis water.
Yeah.
That's like usually it's around 39 cents a gallon for the reverse osmosis, which is cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
But if you're poor, you don't think like that. You're
Yeah.
like you're like my food
I
stamps
pay
have
for
to
my
last.
water
Yeah, I
bill,
pay
so
for
I'm
my
using
water.
this tap water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like it is so not safe to drink,
No.
especially when we just
I
had
don't
that
even
breakage.
give tap water to my dogs.
Nope, my dogs get the
Yeah.
same fucking water we get.
Yeah,
so do my
same.
cats.
Yeah.
And my fucking cats will drink our fucking dirty shower water.
Ugh.
Like, and like we make sure we give them good water. It's
Yeah.
fucking so stupid.
The day I finally stopped drinking tap water because like I grew up drinking it and
Well, you were
drinking it
getting
in most
sick for a
cities.
while, weren't you?
Yeah, and I got E. coli. from the local water
That's crazy.
source, and that was the
What
day I
the
was
hell?
like, never.
Well, I
fucking
remember even
again.
being like, I don't know, fucking like 7 years old, and you get like a big glass of tap
Yeah.
water, and and you're watching all the shit float around in there, and you're like, oh, just
Yeah.
let it sit for a second, it
Those
all
are
goes
some
away,
calcium,
and
some
you're
nutrients.
like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, and then you're like, what am I drinking? Where's that go?
I was literally
a
always
lot
told
of
like
calcium
never get tap water.
deposits for sure. Like, oh man,
I was taught like do not
I'm
go
scared
to the
now.
Yeah.
I'm for real scared now.
Yeah, never.
So what other conspiracies were we talking about earlier?
Oh, we're just
Jimi
talking-
Hendrix is Morgan Freeman.
Oh shit!
No.
I'd love
We
that.
had a good one. Shit, what was it?
Oh, the Baron Trump.
Oh yeah.
God.
Shout out to Facebook.
Trump is a time traveler, and the
I'm too-
prosperity
I'm
that is
getting-
coming to our nation and our
Can
world
I have a drink?
has been
This is too much.
has been planned from the very beginning.
It goes deep.
Hey, can I get one of those?
Fucking
you drank your
JF,
bad one.
JFK Jr.
drink
is
yours
still
yet?
alive.
I'm scared.
You said JFK Jr.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
the
You
JFK
believe that?
thing that goes extra deep, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean that's the basis is that all of this has been planned for a long time.
Oh yeah, and it's all got
then-
to do with
oh.
aliens, and it's all got to do with.
I made a really good point about.
Oh,
it, though,
so
one
we're
time.
part of
It
their process.
explains-
This conversation right now, bringing awareness to it.
Oh
is
yeah.
predetermined. Are you guys really on that predetermined shit?
Well,
I
again, like
explained to you my theory that one time.
there are circles that are like this is like a huge quantum thing, and that we're gonna end up becoming like a quantum society and a fucking galactic society after we get through this point where we take down all the pedophiles that are actually fucking reptilian scum eating
you
fucking
bel-
babies
do you
and
believe
like
in
becoming
manifest
immortal through their
destiny?
blood and being fucking worshippers of fucking I forget that it's basically the
Shout
devil.
out Alex Jones.
Yeah, what? Yeah, straight up. Oh yeah, shit's fucking ridiculous if you go
So
deep into it.
My thought on the whole predetermined whatever thing is so general consensus. Most people agree on the Big Bang thing. There was at one point a bang, and things are expanding from that. Everybody knows that. But so if you think about that, all matter and
drink all that while we're just sitting here?
I'm about to, yeah.
you still haven't drank the nasty one that everybody else drank.
And you're not gonna, are you?
I have to.
Toby's like, I fixed these rules.
Yeah, he's like,
I
if I
have to
drink
now.
all the
It's gonna
other
be the
ones,
only
everyone
one
just has
left.
to drink the gross one.
I'm a fair fucking gamer here. I know what I have to do.
But no, what I was gonna say is, so if
Butt
there was
chug.
that initial explosion, right,
Right.
and all matter was created in that moment,
Correct.
that's in the universe, so everything is traveling on the path of an explosion, right?
Right.
So technically, yes, like on a matter level, like you would think that if you spilled your drink, that's just a process of matter still moving from this explosion. But I think
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah,
I didn't decide.
yeah, no, the universe decided. But I think what consciousness is deciding that you are now manipulating the explosion. Do you see what I
Oh,
mean?
so, okay. Now we're
Consciousness
back
is
to
giving
something.
consciousness is giving you the ability to manipulate where this shit is moving.
Okay.
Do you think the world is still moving from the explosion?
Yeah, everything is.
And that's all how you see it relatively.
Yeah.
Because this explosion happened of just
So
so
long.
long ago, just
Yeah.
so long ago that you'd never be able to fathom how
Maybe it
long
was
ago
yesterday.
it was.
Yeah.
And it might as well have been
Oh
yesterday.
yeah. Have you heard of last Thursdayism?
What's that?
It's like a real belief that no matter what day it is, everything popped into existence last Thursday relative to
Yeah.
whenever you are.
So last
That
Thursday,
Everything.
sounds just as reasonable as anything I've ever
Yeah.
fucking heard.
I'm
Well,
with
it's
that.
that-
I think we should be last Thursday.
It's that whole thing of like nothing
'Cause
exists
then, like,
when you're
every
not
Thursday-
looking at it.
restart.
Yeah.
Your
Quantum.
consciousness is everything. So technically, like all of you are just a reproduction of thoughts in my mind.
But I do really
It's
like the
existentialism,
idea.
basically.
Yeah, yeah.
I do really like the idea that all consciousness is just
Consciousness is
you
top behavior.
getting the ability to
I
manipulate
feel
like where things are moving.
To a degree, yeah, but I mean, like even then, like you could argue that dung beetles have consciousness. Then
Well, no, because
But we already said
they're not actively
mushrooms have,
deciding
at
what they
least dung
do.
beetles
they
are
have, like,
moving around. They
I
have
mean,
more
they're
evidence of
basically
it.
like they might stray a little bit off path, but they're all doing the same thing. You know?
well, they're born with a drive. They come out with a purpose.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is
So does
that's just
Makes
still.
sense.
I would still, if you don't think that they're conscious, then that's just still an act of like these atoms have to be doing this in this moment in this explosion. You see what I mean?
Okay, but
I don't know if I see what
That's
you're
not-
saying.
I don't believe
then
that
you
things are
don't get to,
predetermined,
if
really.
you believe in the idea that the explosion is what's moving every molecule and these are just random occurrences, everything about us, our consciousness, then how are you saying we're manipulating them? Like, just by us being in this rarity, this
I mean,
unexplainable
maybe we're
rarity,
not manipulating them because
we're living them out.
I
is
do
what you're
I do
explaining,
also
like.
really like the theory that if you look at the like human civilization from the outside, it looks like we're just addicted to building something that we haven't built yet because we just keep innovating constantly and we're working towards building some technological
Yeah.
thing that we haven't built yet.
It's just evolution.
Boredom.
So like,
feel like-
I like that too. So maybe it is all predetermined, and we're just like ants out here, and we're supposed to be making some crazy technological thing we just haven't made yet.
Well, if we
That
want to
could
get
be-
down to
that
it,
could
we
be
were
building an anthill.
we were put here first to collect gold.
We're building an anthill.
We were
David,
put on this planet to
what?
collect gold.
Who said that?
I mean, have you ever noticed why people like gold so much and
Yeah.
need to get it and want it so bad?
And it's the most prized
I
possession.
mean, I feel like that.
Right.
I
Going
feel
back
like
forever.
that's.
And it's
like,
just a rock.
I feel like that's.
Fact.
It's a
gold
mathematical
looks the
thing,
same.
though.
It's
Okay,
exactly.
but I
It's
feel like-
mathematical.
I
There's
feel
only
like that-
there's an end source to it. Like diamonds shouldn't exist like in their high price,
But they're forever.
Gold
I feel like-
is something from the earth that is in an actual. We can count it till the end.
All of
You know,
that
we
wasn't
can actually
popular at one point,
account
though.
for every piece for it, and it's different. If we can create gold, then it won't be worth anything. I absolutely see the worth in it
So look, it's like
beyond collecting for.
But like, do you think
the
that
moon,
do you think that
space,
gold is
people.
valuable across the board? Like, because okay, so I would assume everyone in this room agrees that there's probably like some other life out there, and they probably just haven't
Absolutely.
been traveling the galaxy. They're at the same stage we are.
Maybe.
They're okay. So, and my nephew, who is in the military, was on the show not too long ago.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
Yeah, and he fuck. I gotta look this
What?
down. I just lost it. That's so fucked up.
Your cousin said that
My nephew, you piece of shit.
I always call me cousin.
Oh no, he talked about like, wouldn't it be so depressing if we were the most intelligent thing up to this point?
Because somebody had to be first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. But
No,
I feel
he
like
brought up
the,
the idea of what if we're not. That's
Oh.
the question he asked. He's like,
We're
there
the
is
dumbest.
good evidence that we are absolutely the most intelligent thing that's ever existed, and does that scare you? That's what he
Okay,
said.
yeah, and it does. It does scare me if we're the
If
first
we're
ones to get this
absolutely
far.
the only, yeah, that is fucked.
But there's also
We're
the thing too
idiots.
is
I like the theory that most civilization, like that there's been trillions of civilizations that have made it to the point that we've made it to, but that most people never make it to galaxy.
Well, you like that because it
Civilizations?
has something.
Yeah.
It has a platform. Do you?
No,
mind
because
NASA sent a golden
it-
record into space.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. I
know
like
what you're talking
that
about.
theory
Okay, I
because
see what
it
you're saying.
means that without actually figuring out real solutions, every civilization implodes on itself. So like you have to figure out real solutions, or you don't make it to off the planet civilization.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is fact. Because like if you don't figure out something, obviously civilization will eventually implode on itself. Because
that?
most
If
great
mushrooms are
civilizations
so
do.
smart, then why haven't they figured out how to get off the ground yet?
We're
What do you
just
mean?
we're
They could
mushrooms.
be-
If they're fully conscious
mushrooms.
and as intelligent as what we consider our consciousness to be, why can't they fucking
They
get
could
off the
just
ground?
be they could just be little biological computers that drop that could be what seeds life
Well, that's
on
what we
planets.
are.
We could shoot mushrooms to a planet that's habitable and it would terraform that whole planet for us over
Yeah.
time.
We turn into mushrooms when we die. If you think
But
about
why
it,
wouldn't they
Yeah.
evolve
Like, if you
beyond
didn't have a
that, with
coffin
that
and all that?
with that sense of intelligence? Is it for safety? Maybe they cling to the earth.
No,
for
what
safety?
I'm saying is maybe at some point there.
You like.
Okay,
I
so-
fucking hate you.
so
that
like
was
what-
what that.
Like what we were
nonsense
just saying
was.
about the like if there was like billions of civilizations that made it to this point.
All
and then,
mushrooms.
Okay, right? No. But say they were just like us or whatever, right? Maybe one of them created
Mario was right,
One
bro.
of them created a biological being that was the mushroom. That is, its job is to terraform planets, and they shot that shit out one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And planets have just been mushrooming it up, and either it supports life or it doesn't.
Well, I think that I really like that idea. And to expound upon
Yeah.
that, I like the idea of them all being of one consciousness. Like they are the thing that's trying to take over the universe
Yeah.
and give life. That
What
could be
the fuck?
mushrooms could be God, Toby.
Oh
Like,
man,
you weren't seeing it
Mushrooms
deep.
could
you were saying
mushrooms
the
could be
mushrooms
God.
are the reptilians, but you're saying if
What?
if
If they
their
give
whole
us-
purpose
no,
is
wait.
to take over planets.
No, but do you not see what they're doing? They terraform a planet so
But
that
we
life
take over
can
planets. That's what we
thrive.
do.
literally, like,
Everyone just take a
factual,
second.
the first like life outside of the ocean was mushroom.
Everyone just take a second and realize everything that you stereotype the reptilian race for is exactly what the human race does.
Yeah, but I like the mushroom race. I don't
Okay.
even eat
I know-
mushrooms. No, hold on. Can I just say, as a fact,
scared
though,
of yourself.
I don't even eat mushrooms, not because I don't like them, but because I respect mushrooms. I used to not like them, and then I realized one day
Respect
that I
them
did
too
like
much
them,
to eat them?
and then I realized that I respect them, and I just didn't want to eat
Throw them
them.
in the compost and let
So
them
I
feed
don't
something
eat
else, I
mushrooms.
guess.
respect the mushrooms.
But
2020.
something's
Yeah.
gonna eat the mushroom. Do you get?
No,
Like,
that's fine. It's not me though.
It's gonna mold and end up in dirt. That's gonna
I'll
feed
eat-
something.
I really
Actually,
enjoy.
I
I
eat-
microdosed on mushrooms
No,
today.
I was about to say I eat psychedelic mushrooms, but I mean like just mushrooms that people eat. Like
so I
I
have
just
a
don't eat. Like I'll
question.
eat psychedelic mushrooms,
Yeah.
but not other ones.
Oh,
Because
I
I
give-
feel like
I-
psychedelic
Oh,
mushrooms can
like-
communicate back
Yeah.
better than other
Even
mushrooms.
if you eat them,
Well, even then, like I give reverence for most things that I eat.
Yeah.
And
shouldn't you just rub it against your skin?
No.
if you really love it.
no, Toby, I
Do you,
don't.
do you have to consume it?
No, I care about the food that I eat.
I
So
feel
you should rub it on yourself.
Even your mushrooms.
I was
Yeah,
vegetarian,
even the mushrooms.
Yeah.
and then I
No.
did the vegan thing for a while, but I was like, that's not my move.
I have-
And
well,
then
I
I
have a
went back to
question
eating
about,
meat because I was like, that's.
so
I
You
feel
get
like it's
you
not
get
that-
things from
I'm
meat
gonna
that
get
help
there.
your body.
Yeah, exactly.
So psilocybin is considered a toxin and technically a poison,
Right.
and they say that's what's happening with most psychedelics in science is that your body's being poisoned and experiencing a form of death, right? Which could go back to our chemical portal
Yeah,
thing,
but
but
that-
more importantly, we should this is a public service thing, the opposite of the type you give. We should reconsider all our poisons.
Yeah. I was
Because
just about to
there's a
say
reason-
poison is a negative thing. That's why
That
they
was a
would
good
relate
point.
it to death or whatever to try and make like tripping
But
negative.
what about real poison? Things
Yeah, but that's
that
what I was
just
about to
kill-
say. Is
like-
it's not a poison because I'm not dead.
Have
But
any
is
of you
any
ever died?
poison a poison? That's what I'm
Or
saying.
am I
Alcohol is
dead? I don't know.
is
How-
poison.
How
Yeah.
any of have any
Like,
of
Couldn't
you
you
ever
say
died?
fucking
poison.
ammonia and bleach mixed together is some sort of chemical portal to another universe because it might
Because
kill
you die.
you? Yeah. So I'm just saying to rethink.
I guess,
poison.
Toby, and then so
Holy
is a
shit.
bullet or a knife.
No, that's not as directly related. to
Well, he
what
was
I'm
Well,
saying.
no,
saying
your
'cause you were
consciousness-
mixing chemicals.
Yeah, because your consciousness still has to go through that mental death beforehand. So you get shot in the head. I'm
That's
still
what's
pretty
happening
sure
with mushrooms, right? Is
I'm
that you're
s-
going through a physical death.
mental death.
Have
Well,
any
you're
of
getting
you,
rid of your body. To me, that's a physical death.
Have any of
right?
you ever died?
You're not
I-
getting rid of your mind.
I mean, I've definitely had to like, I've
been
I've
real
done some
close.
fucking test chemicals where I had to fucking put my body back together.
No, I'm
Yes.
talking about like
Like literally died. My
Legally
heart
died.
stopped.
Yeah.
No,
it's
no. We have a friend who has though.
it's not. I don't know. It's weird. It's not like an acid trip. It's like it's some weird shit. It's really it's
The only reason
unexplainable.
I relate it
like,
to
I
that-
overdosed a long time ago, and it was like
Oh.
because of that happened to me, and they brought me back. And it's like I don't really believe. Before that, I believed in like predetermined stuff and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And I believe like I love doing acid. I love doing stuff like that. But now when I take acid, I don't like it because it's like you're there, but it's not the same.
But
Like
DMT
it's that
is a
feeling
little bit
that
different because
it's that feeling that you're not inside of your body, but
Yeah.
like
that's
it's
not
the
being
other
out of
shit
your
that goes
body,
on.
though.
That's not like not being you. Like you're somewhere else and weird shit is happening, and it's not a trip. It's not anything. It's like you can reach out, touch
Yeah,
it,
it's
hug
like
it.
doing DMT.
It's like you're
well,
another place.
yeah.
Like you're something else. It's
So
weird.
what people think is
like
that
a black TV screen.
when you're born and when you die, your pineal gland flushes.
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
DMT.
well, there's a reason why your
and-
gland empties for sure.
Yeah, well, it's to ease the transition. So when you're in that near death state or you have died, your brain is going to go through that mental death. And when that DMT releases, it disbands your perception of time. And that's why I think that we could fool ourselves into living forever, because you can live outside of time in those very small moments. So a DMT trip is maybe 15 minutes long, but it feels like it could be centuries.
Yeah, forever.
Like you can live eons within that 15 fucking minutes, and you just come right back to this. So like I know for a fact that that is what goes on between being born and dying. It is this transition into that ethereal nothingness. And like it eases that transition, because what does it do? You have your life flash before your eyes, and it's like a game of fucking Tetris with your emotions and your memories, and it shows you that everything you've ever fucking done has led you to right here, and it's all your fault because you chose this shit.
Now living
Until you
forever
get through
wasn't
there,
too
and then
bad.
there's like this
If you
aha
had
moment,
DMT.
and there's like just like there's like this relief of like once you accept that it was all your fault, and you're like blaming other shit, then you're like,
You have to get rid of all that.
I get it.
Facts.
Yeah.
No, but if
Yeah.
you live forever in another body, right? And we're saying the torments of not experiencing the other life and death. So what if we could get a little further? So we already have that chemical portal. What if we could experience mental and physical death? Is what we're doing. So we are basically deciding. So it's like we're controlling reincarnation at that point. If we mix the changing of bodies with going through the mental and soul death that comes through that chemical portal, we could actually die and still remember our past life vividly and be in a new body. So we could experience.
But you're
actual
still
death.
trapped here.
I don't believe you could transfer.
How long do you
anything
want to
from
be in the
anything.
void?
I don't
though?
feel
The
like
I mean,
void is not
scientifically-
fun.
But you don't know if the void is literally a void. You could be able to call your consciousness clear across the universe.
Well, exactly, but it gets boring. That's the point.
Well, that's why we're in a
we created-
body.
Yeah, so we have to make something to entertain ourselves.
When I was in
so
school,
you think
a cool
Okay,
theory that I
I
heard
kinda
is that you like your soul is just a piece of like a much larger soul, and they're all, you know how like there's quantum entanglement. It was like that,
Yeah.
but across like a soul, so it's like a soul entanglement, and that whenever you dream, you're jumping between different souls, like different parts of your soul.
I could see that.
Yeah.
it sounds
Somebody was talking about that in
nice.
school. I don't remember like how deep it went. I know there was way more than that, but that was the gist of it. Was that like you're actually quantum entangled throughout like multiple parallel.
You have a lot of
things.
hope.
Well, there is
then to even like consider these things. You know, to me, like it just feels very hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Well, there's
very
the
helpful.
the Bill Hicks line. You know who Bill Hicks is? The
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
He was like, "We are all the same perception, viewing itself subjectively." And I love that shit.
Okay, yeah, that's fire.
Facts.
Yeah, that's fire. I like that. Wait, say it one more time. We are all.
The same
Perception.
perception.
Yeah.
We're all the same perception, viewing itself subjectively.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his teenagers on his kids on acid or whatever.
Yeah.
That everything is just a dense vibration
Mm-hmm.
that we're experiencing.
Yeah, because you know you're not actually solid,
Yeah.
right?
Just
You know that if
moving.
my hand were vibrating fast enough, I could just pass right through you.
That's why the X-Men are real.
know
Hashtag
that.
X-Men are real.
Hashtag Will Smith for president.
Yeah.
Why? No.
I. Do you think?
You know
wait,
why
wait,
we're
do
gonna
you think
stop
Will
hashtag?
Smith would
No.
be a worse president than Trump? Because I think people would fuck with America globally just off of how famous he is.
No, I'm gonna.
People
I'm
would
gonna
look at
go
our
ahead and
president
take him
like-
off the list. Like,
A movie.
He would no longer be on the hashtag.
no, he's not gonna be hashtag anymore for this reason. That he was on the Epstein list.
Oh.
You know he's with some fuck shit.
Yeah.
He's to another level.
And see, that's the
We
thing
just
though, is
can't
that like
understand it.
it's really hard for me to like see. It's really hard for me to get down with Donald Trump as a person. See, I think he's funny. I think he's a funny dude.
Yeah, but there's just
Um,
too much bad stuff.
I don't think that he's He's
part
not.
of it.
He's
What-
he's
a part
not
of what he's acting
presidential.
like.
Is the
He's fine.
problem?
Oh yeah, not
Like
at
if all the shit that's supposed to be going on behind the scenes is actually going on, he could be a little bit smoother.
Did you watch
Yeah.
the debate?
He could be a little bit cooler. No, I don't watch stuff like that.
Okay, so if you would have watched the debate, it's like literally it looks
Which
like
debate?
the one
Well,
like
he
the
got two
very
cans,
first one for the presidential candidate.
Oh well, yeah, I watched that because everybody watched that. That
Okay,
was
so
like watching a
it was
house
like
on fire.
It was like 23 people just out there clout chasing almost, and it was like, what are you guys doing? Like this shit has turned into entertainment. I feel like.
2028, guys.
Well, no,
Cushion.
I mean, like, there's shit really
Impressive.
going on right now. Like, they're moving.
that's what
There are so many unsealed indictments going on right now.
Yeah.
They're taking people's names out of these indictments and
and-
they're starting to execute these fucking arrests.
You know,
Yeah.
just prior to
All of them are fucked. Like
him becoming
submitted.
president or even running for president, he was on trial because somebody had came out and said that him and Epstein actually had these two like 12-year-old Mexican girls as like sex slaves,
Yeah.
and they killed one of them, and they were about to be on trial for this, and then he won the presidency, so the president can't be on trial. And
I want to know what
it's
that,
a pending
that temple
thing.
was up with. I want to know what happened in that temple before that
I
changed.
posted a picture on Instagram of Donald Trump and that weird dude that just like killed himself in that cell, like hugging his daughter. Super weird.
Yeah.
Like I got super banned from Instagram for that. Figured that was a valid point.
I like it.
Yeah.
It was just like, I was like, oh, this is a horrible picture. And I
Well, no,
posted it.
like there's so many pictures with those guys. You know, like a lot of people that are like pro-Trump think that he was planting himself in those situations to get close to Epstein to be able to take them down because they're like. They have like quotes from people that are
I mean, he
like
is a
Donald
time
Trump was
traveler.
there. Donald Trump was there, but he didn't touch anybody. Donald Trump was there, but he was always nice and never
Well, there's
tried
gotta be quite a
tried
few
to
people-
fuck
He was
anybody.
touching people. He
Um,
literally was grabbing people.
Well,
by the
that's
pussy.
the thing.
You
That's
are
the
who you
thing
hang
too.
out
Is
with.
like a lot of people are saying that that's just a made up character.
That's like
that he's
being like,
doing.
I was at the
But, like-
Playboy Mansion and saw not one titty.
No, I don't think it goes that far. I don't think that we're at the
Yeah.
point where we can say that he's
No, I
like
feel
a
that,
good
though.
guy. I know that he's definitely a little bit sexist,
Well,
a little
see,
bit
again,
racist, but
th-
he's also an
this
old
is
white
exactly-
dude that's been
I
rich his
also
whole
think
life.
That's
it's
exactly how I
crazy.
talked about Jay-Z when we found out about him. Because I was like, nah, he was just there like watching Beyonce and
Well, right. These are
Orgy.
just people that are on lists.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah,
mean
they
that they
could-
went
they
to the
went to
island and
parties.
fucked
Performer
kids.
list.
But no, listen,
Like-
they went to parties of where places where like
Yeah, but
satanic
even
so many different
anybody
things, right?
who's
So-
doing fucked up shit has to be around normal people to make it look like they're not doing fucked up shit. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, fucking Jeffrey Dahmer still went to the grocery store.
no,
You
it's
know what
not
I
like
mean?
that.
My dad
It's
saw
not
Jeffrey
Well, no,
Dahmer
but
get
like,
arrested.
so
Oh, God.
we can all agree that Epstein was a child murderer, a child rapist. He like
Yes.
is a big proponent in the child trafficking rings from around the world.
Yes.
Like his fucking private jet was called the Lolita Express. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But anyone
Um,
that I do still kind of go back on the thing that anyone that visited that island has awareness and allows
They probably
things
heard some things.
that are fucked up.
Right.
Like anyone that is on the level of visiting there.
But you also got to
was
think
on
too.
the
It's like
level
you're
of
trying to come up
understanding,
and you're either trying to come up in Hollywood or in politics. You get invited to a
Wait,
party
also-
at Epstein's Island, and you know that that's either going to make you or break you. You don't have to
'Cause
do anything
everybody's
there.
there.
You don't have to do anything
Yeah.
there, but you got to go.
Also, here's
You
wait,
wouldn't
here's
hop in
my
a blood
thing though.
orgy?
Here's my other thing. Is like, also how many times did they go? Because like if you went 2 or 3 times, whatever. If you went there more than 2 or 3 times, whatever.
How many
But
times did Clinton fly on his
I've-
jet? 27 times or
No,
some
I was
shit.
gonna say is I've hung out with people I knew were shitty 2 or 3 times before I stopped hanging out with them.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So like you can go somewhere 2 or 3 times before you're like fuck that shit.
right.
And then like if they continued to go there, then yeah.
Hey girl, but no, I definitely agree with the fact that not everybody that is on those like guest books or in his little black book did anything in particular. But I know that there's a definite certain number that did do some shit.
Yeah, facts.
Like fucking, they're saying that like even fucking George Clooney,
Yeah.
the Clooney man, goddamn, like and it sucks. Will Smith's on there.
I mean, there's a
Um,
lot of weird shit in Hollywood, anyways. Like, you hear about all the weird shit that goes on in Scientology, and
But it's all I feel like it's all connected. I feel like all
Oh,
these things
yeah,
are
yeah,
connected.
for sure.
That shit is super weird.
Well, it's like these people that want this one world government already run the world. They just want to consolidate everything. They want to make it easier for
They want to
themselves.
put a stamp on it.
Yeah, because there's already a one world government. It's all already run
They
by
just
the
want
same
everybody
fucking
to
people.
know what's up.
Yeah,
Because
They
we're
would
in the
say,
social
like-
media age, and the one world government's gonna have the illest Instagram page.
because we're already bagged and tagged.
Yeah,
Like
facts.
that's true. Like as
I
soon
mean, you
as
have a
you
social
signed up for
security
Facebook,
number at fucking birth. You're
Yeah.
literally a number as soon as you.
As soon
pop
as you
out the
added a cam
vagina.
girl on Facebook, you were tapped.
Yeah.
As soon as you added a cam girl on Facebook. If you ever got a cam girl on your Facebook, police watching you, swear to God.
that sounds like it's from experience.
Mm-hmm.
But
Police pulled
I'm
up
on my
as a cam
18th
girl.
Facebook.
a funny thing about a social
I'm on, like,
security
my third
number,
Facebook.
the social security numbers in Canada are basically your cattle number to the Queen. It's your debt number.
Yeah.
Because the people in Canada are in debt to the Queen.
Have you seen those
We're in debt.
Have you seen
Oh,
those those like people
We're in super debt.
online that talk about the whole like you can trade in your social security number for like this massive check because it's actually like a debt that they owe you because they like make money off you having a social security number.
Oh wow.
Apparently they like I don't even know if it's accurate, but I've heard multiple people talk about it where like you can put in this request for the government for like money that's owed off of them owning your social security number and like there's like a bag that they run up through your whole life off just owning your social security number
Isn't that a
and that
401k?
they owe you but it's by request or some shit like that.
Well, how do I get my social
No,
security money?
You get
Yeah,
that.
that's
You
what I
get
was-
that when you retire.
No,
It's
no,
like
no,
a-
no, no, no,
No.
not
My
that
dad
check.
pays for
That's a
Social Security.
different
He was
check.
talking about
It's
that.
like it's
Social
like by
Security?
owning. It's like a so Social Security is like a stock in their
Yeah.
population. Do you see what I
Right.
mean? So like so because you have a certain population, there's like a certain income that is
Can you
generated
delete
off of that
your
just
Social Security number?
population. You know what I mean? Like worldwide, like oh we have a bigger population than you, so if there's any money going around, like we deserve this money or some shit like that.
I want to
But
know.
I don't even know if it's accurate though. I've just seen it a bunch online. Like you can
Yeah.
like request like money owed on your
Yeah. What the
like
fuck?
shit that they generate off your social security or some shit like that. I don't know if it's a fact.
He's
but
getting
I've
his
seen
Social
it.
Security money right now.
Yeah,
he's-
I'll buy your social security number.
He's getting there right now.
Sell that shit for cheap.
Where is my Social Security money? That's what he typed in.
I mean, even if they've only ran up
I think that's what.
$1,000 on me, I need that. Let me get that.
Unclaimed money search.
Yeah.
Oh
see?
yeah. You can look like I looked my name up in for like some
he said that.
some
with-
unrelated court thing. Like I had
Excitement.
money owed to me. On it, like all you do is go to your state and type in your name. I thought it was an email scam, but then it was like a real thing. I looked it
no,
up.
I don't think it's that though. It's like
Shout out to email scams. You guys are the goat.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Jesus.
Shout out to all fraud. Like,
Yeah.
respect.
Facts.
I lived with some credit card scammers at one point in my life. For
Oh
like,
yeah.
Dude,
For
yeah,
like
we had a printer.
for
at
like
one
a
week
point.
or
We
two.
had a credit
That's
card.
dangerous
And
to talk about.
man, it is a crazy
No,
process.
it's been years. Like, I can cut up.
Like, have you seen those like credit card information transfer machines? So like you can print the new name on the card, but it has the same information as the other card.
Yeah,
so like
it's
the
like an
it
embosser.
says your name, but you've transferred
Oh.
all the information over to a brand new like card.
like a hand, like an embosser, like a machine that
No,
you pull it on.
no. I mean,
Oh.
like you scan, so like you swipe both the cards or whatever. So it strips information off of one card and puts that information on another card. So say this is how they did it. So like there would be like the dude who ran the shit, right?
Yeah.
And then he had like some chick that works for him, and she goes and gets a job at a fucking I don't know a restaurant or a Target or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every couple of cards, she fucking swipes that information on like a fake reader real quick.
Oh yeah. I
And
know what you-
then
okay.
it stores all this information, and then
Yeah,
you
that's how
can
get- yep.
re-imprint that information on a blank card.
But no. You gotta emboss it. They
Well,
do,
yeah, no,
you- that's like a
you
mut-
do that
that's
after
like a
you put your
magnet
name
sensor.
on the outside of the card and
I
all
know
that
too
shit.
much about this. I
Yeah.
should stop talking.
Big facts.
Yeah.
I was never involved in anything.
These bitches can't even do math.
I just know
I
how
can't
things
do math.
go.
I'm bad
Huh?
at math.
I'm
2 plus 2
talking
is
about some random
2 plus
shit.
2 is 7.
I can't do math.
No, I'm just kidding. I can do
I
math.
don't like it.
I don't like math though. Like
I
I,
prefer.
Yeah, I
but
like
at
math.
the same time, like
I think math
How we
is
turn
like
everything
the
into math.
That's
math
why the
is,
trees look
math is a
cool.
lot like music, really.
No.
Yes.
I hate you for saying that, but you're. I mean, but only because we made rules for music.
Yes.
And we, yeah,
Music is like history to me. Music and
But,
history are
like-
the same thing.
it could have been. It could be so different, though. It could be interpreted from its root.
Well,
different.
no, but like, it's also you're only saying that though from like a standpoint of someone who hates math, right? So like, there's people out here that get the same type of high you get from music off of like crazy math problems, and that's their job. Like literally their job. They strive for that in life.
Yeah, fuck that. No, shout out mathematicians.
Yeah,
for
that's what I'm saying. They
keeping
make
us
the
all
world
together.
run.
Yeah, no, thanks.
These are the people running
for
shit.
looking at the trees and realize.
I want to
there
make a
was an
really
equation
funny
to
joke
that,
right
you
now.
know?
Like, this is gonna be a greatest joke ever.
Yeah.
In Chattanooga, we don't do math problems. We have a meth problem.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. It's we're about to have a meth problem here in about 20 minutes. If you're ready for it.
Oh, you think so? Toby's about
I'm
at
just
the time
kidding.
where he starts wanting that crystal meth.
Dude,
No.
it gets dangerous.
I don't
Like,
think that's a part of my day.
Towley taught me how to do everything, man. Shout
Oh.
out to Towley.
Shout out.
You
Tell
want to
me
get
how to
high?
smoke meth. Those are the days.
South
Yo.
Park is still amazing.
What were some other crazy? There was some. We had a whole list of shit, like some conspiracy
yeah.
theories we were talking about earlier.
Jimi
Well, we were
Hendrix and
talking
Morgan
about
Freeman?
brand new.
Oh yeah,
like,
making
we're
new
starting
conspiracy
conspiracy
theories.
theories,
So
Like 4chan.
when I went to
is the
school,
source.
there was a finger in the Wendy's chili, and like we used to skip school to go to
Oh
the
yeah,
Wendy's to get
I
chili.
definitely heard
Try to
that.
get a finger.
Bro,
I
so
have
Wendy's is
advocated
like
that
Wendy's
before.
is chopping people up, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
Was that a fact? Was that like a?
no, there was really a finger in the Wendy's
that,
chili.
that was a fact.
Like I was about to leave school early to go
I
get some
remember the
Wendy's.
finger
and
in
no.
like a Mountain Dew can. When I was
that
a kid, that was
that happened. I was like a little itty bitty kid because my
Hmm.
dad used to drink Mountain Dew.
yeah.
I'm pretty
Trying to
sure,
think
or
of-
like a rat in the can. There was
What are
something
like
like
some
that.
other? Because
Oh, there has been rats in.
So
cans
we're all
before,
kind of
too.
from like different areas, right?
Mm.
Like we
Facts.
grew up in different areas.
Facts. I think
All of
Okay.
us.
I'm from here.
I know you're from here, but
I don't know where we are, so it's fine.
so like, so where? But I'm just saying like. So what are like some like weird, I guess like childhood urban legends that you heard, so we can see if it's like universal across the map.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to think of good ones. Like not just like the dumb ones like Bloody Mary and shit like that.
Oh,
but,
and
like,
Candyman and
yeah,
shit.
not shit like
what,
that,
you
but
don't
like
believe in
weird.
Blade Mary?
Well, there's like green eyes around here.
Yeah, there is green
What
eyes.
the fuck
And
is that?
Somebody told me
At
that
the
snakes live in the
battlefield?
toilet. Like
What's green eyes? Tell me about green eyes.
So if you go up to there's a tower in the battlefield, and if you go there at a certain time of night, like I think like right after the sunset or whatever.
What battlefield? Just some
Chickamauga?
random battlefield.
The Chickamauga battlefield.
Yeah. So there's like a tower.
Really getting close.
There's a tower there, and if you like go there at a certain time of night, and look across the battlefield, there's supposed to be like green eyes staring at you from
Oh
the
shit.
forest.
Yeah, I go. Look
I
at
heard
that.
about that one, but I never seen it. But I do have a homie who saw like a dead girl there one time.
I saw a Sasquatch.
I said,
Saw a
I'm
dead girl.
just playing. I'm playing. Do you think that Sasquatch is real?
Yeah.
I think
It's inevitable that there's something.
I think
but
it
not
was real, but I
quite
don't think it's real
the
now.
story. No, I think there's something like there had to be.
But I do like the theory
that old question of like how are there monkeys still?
yeah.
You know, like I think that there were different. We were talking about this the other night. It's like different environments led to different understanding, and so different places produce different, levels of intelligence through their beings, and so there's still monkeys, and there would still be a few things in between. I don't see why there's not more, honestly.
More
see
in
why-
between because
yeah.
we fucked and killed them all.
Oh, they were all just fuckable enough to kill.
No, that's
What?
literally what
Fucking
humans
kill.
did. Is like
Oh,
we
you think
fucked
there
all
was,
the
like,
in betweens and then
yeah.
we killed them all.
Okay, so
It's
look,
like, damn, that monkey got some nice.
think about it
titties.
like this. Think about
Well,
it
like
like
think
this.
about like Neanderthals and fucking all that shit. Like we fucked and killed them all.
So
They were dumber and we
Sounds-
just killed them all.
Yeah, sounds how.
my question isn't like why are there still monkeys? My question is like everything was all together at one point and everything split apart. Like America.
Pangea.
Oh, like the
Yeah,
Pangea thing.
So it's
yeah.
like where did monkeys really come from? Like
I
they
don't
found
know
they
if I
found like
100% believe the Pangea
ethnic
thing,
people
though.
in the ice caps and shit, like frozen deep in the ice. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
did monkeys come from like China? Like, are monkeys Chinese? Like, or like did they come over
Are we
here?
all
Like,
Chinese?
Well, they
I mean,
think
so
that
it-
everything's
basically, like, you see what I'm
out
saying?
of
You see what I'm saying?
Africa.
I'm trying to get to that point. Like,
Yeah, all
Everything-
supposedly life
Everything came from Africa.
Yeah.
So, like, if there was an Adam and Eve, Africa.
facts.
Egypt, Africa.
So it's like people are like,
Shout
I'm
out Black
people.
Jesus.
People are like, I'm
Mm.
Italian. No, you're African. You can't. We came from. You're Pangean, is what you are.
Yeah, that's looking
That's
too
what
far
we
back.
should go with. But
That's the people
What
are
I'm
trying
saying- but
to get more details. Everybody likes to get more detailed, more understanding
facts.
of like. Truly, they're just trying to find a reason to love themselves more, and that's fucked. But
Are you still trying to find owed money?
yeah, let's all
Mhm.
read what we're looking at on our phones.
I was telling somebody
Hello.
I was currently doing a podcast.
Why is your dick so big?
Were you
Mhm.
Yeah,
promoting
that's
it?
what I was googling. Is why is
Did
my
you give
dick
them the
so
link?
big?
Oh man, that's so funny.
I feel like a social outcast because my dick is just too large. That's what I was googling.
Oh man,
Damn. I've never had to do that.
man, look at my Google search. How about my big dick?
Yeah. Real life
That's
problems.
funny.
Facts. If you look up Mute
Big
Da Vinci
dick
on
problems,
Google, that's
boy.
all it
Yeah.
says. That's all it says.
Oh yeah, just some BDP, man. So stand life, man.
Oh man. What were some of the
I'm
some of
trying
the
to
new
find a
conspiracy
glory
theories?
hole that has like hinges on it. You know, like
That has
So you can-
hinges-
so
so
you
you can
can
like
peek?
surprise. Is that what you're trying to
nah, like.
do? Oh, like what do
so
you mean
my
hinges?
Big dick.
Oh, okay.
No, we
okay,
doing
okay, okay.
BDPs now.
I was confused.
This
I was
new
confused.
level. We are,
I was like, are you trying to? I was like, dude, you're trying to eliminate the whole like the element of the glory hole.
element of surprise.
I
Well,
thought you were
that's-
like gonna open
yeah,
the door. Ah,
Mask
like
necessary.
facts.
But no, maybe my head's through the roof. Maybe I don't know where this is. Oh, this could be Willy Wonka's little smaller room.
Mm.
Yeah.
Put your dick through that little hole. Remember when they all bent down?
Yeah.
Put the thing through there, and there's a whole world.
Okay.
That's the best glory hole that you can
A world
ever
of
imagine.
pure imagination.
You never know. It's probably an Oompa Loompa. I'm gonna guess.
Oh, so it's just an Oompa
But-
Loompas
Yeah.
asshole on the other side of
entire
that glory
chocolate
hole.
factory
You never
was just
know.
behind a glory
Yeah.
hole.
Mm.
Even if it was just chocolate.
That's what's
it's so
behind a
good.
glory hole.
Oh, it's
kids.
just a euphemism for an asshole.
Yeah.
Chocolate factory.
Oh.
Oh,
It does get real small before they go in
Yeah.
there, and then it breaks open,
Yeah.
and then it floods out, and,
And then
turns
you
to
get more
someone.
comfortable
But
with
what are
it,
the Oompa
and then
And
you
then a
ease
kid
up.
gets lost.
but what? Hold on. What are the Oompa Loompas?
Anal beads.
Yeah.
Oh, but see, the kids dying in there is like the representation of like them not getting
Anal
pregnant
beads.
through the ass, you know.
Okay. So this is what we've devolved into. We've gone from
Thanks.
like philosophical
Well, what I was just
conversations
about to
about
say
aliens
is,
and
what I was
life.
just about to say is, what was some of those? We were trying to come up with like new conspiracy theories that we should start. That should be
Okay,
new
so
conspiracy.
okay, so one that my wife brought to my attention is that do you ever watch Shameless?
Yeah, I love that show.
Okay, so you know Carl,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the
dead
man.
I
ringer
don't
for
know this.
Billie Eilish.
Oh, he's also
I don't
Little
know
Xan.
Oh God.
Huh?
He's
Him and Lil
Xan.
Xan, they're
He's
the
like
same
Lil Xan's
person.
twin.
Okay, so they're
Have
the
you ever
same
heard of
person.
temporary face?
They're
tats?
actually even friends now because of how alike they look. Like the internet made them hang out.
Okay, well they
It's
look
just a
well
mirror.
then they both look like Billie Eilish.
Yeah, they're
'Cause-
all the
okay,
same.
so they're clones.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay,
They're not
DNA
clones. They're just
strong.
weird.
they're temporary face tats. It's not.
Oh yeah,
clone.
that was one he was telling me about
Bro,
earlier.
I
Is
swear.
that like a lot of these rappers that get famous off of having that image of having face tats and shit, all temporary face tats that only last like 2 or
Bro.
3 years.
And it's like
Okay.
I didn't
saw
even
it
know
advertised.
that.
And I was like,
for
I'll
that
go get
shit,
temporary
it's
face
weird.
tats for the clout tomorrow.
You can
Yeah.
literally go on Amazon right now and get one that stays for
Tomorrow.
like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just a stick on
no,
your
no,
face.
no, I'll get
and
the
run
real
water on
needle,
it.
like the one that just.
And it's
I'd rather put a fucking scar
So I
on my
can-
face. Like,
Yeah.
I'd
See what
rather
I'm saying?
fucking get it
'Cause that's
dug
hard.
in over
Facts.
the eye.
Yeah.
Yo, if the ink,
Face
has
scar.
the ink if the
Something.
ink goes away, but the
Facts.
scar stays there, that's like precise scarification on your face,
Yeah.
and that's fire.
Fire.
Yeah, fuck
Mm.
yeah.
Unless you get a dumb face tat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
smiley face.
I went-
I'm gonna
orange
get some
on
That's
dumbass
Dick.
eventually. If I get enough money, I'm
My
gonna do some
favorite
stupid
face
shit.
tat that I've seen is Lil Pump's alien emoji.
Mm.
I'm like jealous of it. I also was having a conversation with my girlfriend about I want to get a almond tattoo.
Okay.
So that when people are like, "What's that teardrop for?" I'm like, "No, that's an
I
almond."
kill people.
It's an almond. I'm
That's
vegan.
what you
Well, you have to have grooves in it to show that.
Yeah,
It's
he's
an
like,
almond,
I don't
though,
fuck
like-
with cow's
Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
I don't
Real talk.
almond milk only.
Yeah, that's
I'm
an
lactose
almond.
intolerant,
Yeah, I'm a hard ass vegan.
so I killed that milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. Sent it a message that it will never forget.
There could be some cool things. Like I think, like if you kill a bunch of people, that you should get a bucket right here to collect all
catch
your
all the
teardrops.
tears.
You put them in line instead. Like a lot
Like
of
if
people
you
do
have a
necks or
bucket,
like that.
you are
Do
the
a
hardest
line.
out.
People just get
And you just get a
teardrops
little
and then
bucket.
they just put teardrops and then they put times
Yeah.
the number.
Now, see, like,
Wow.
I
So
see
when you have
people with
court, they could be
teardrops.
like, "You killed this
They don't know what
guy."
they're
I'm,
doing.
I'm to the point. I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't fucking believe you.
90% of the time they're
Test
just
that
sad.
motherfucker.
Why do you have 5
See if it
teardrops
happens.
on your face?
There,
You
that's
look
not-
doughy.
That's not
Like-
real. That's not real. Like,
I
dude,
mean, unless you see them in jail, like probably not. 5.
Yeah.
That's a
Saw a
lot to
dude
have
with
on your
5.
face.
I know people that got like
And
teardrops tatted
bad.
on their face because their friend died or something. So it's like
That's
no,
not
no,
what
it's-
that
no,
means,
exactly.
though.
That's
No,
not what
no,
it
it
means.
is,
You go to
though.
jail, they're gonna run up on
No,
you.
wait,
like,
wait,
for
no,
real.
no. It is though. Like there's a difference between the hollow and the filled in.
No, the
teardrops,
open
and there's a difference.
teardrops.
There's
Exactly,
yeah.
but
Now,
most
see,
people don't know
I
that,
thought
though.
the open teardrop was fucking secondary. I didn't think it was a friend.
Well,
That's
no,
what
but
when
there's-
you have
there's-
second
It
degree.
depends. Yeah, but it
Yeah.
depends on
And
where
first
like you're
degree
talking
is
to
a
people. So like
filled
there's a whole like on the
teardrop.
West Coast and no, but like on the East Coast, there's people that will get teardrops for like friends that have died to gang shit,
Oh yeah.
as opposed to.
Yeah.
Or like family that died to
Yeah.
gang shit. You know what I mean?
But see, like the bad thing is a tattoo artist will let you come in there and
And
straight
just
color.
drop
I
in-
was
some
gonna
money.
ask that.
like straight
I was
color in that
thinking
whole
the other
thing
night.
and
No
get
one,
you shot out here. Like,
no
that's
one
just-
would
that
do
shit is
that. I was
crazy.
like, in my head, like, no fucking tattoo artist is gonna be like.
Dude, they really do. I seen somebody like, shit. They
Look at Post Malone. He has
Just
the whole
had-
He doesn't have
Jesus
tears,
thorns.
though.
He has Jesus thorns
Yeah.
across his forehead.
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything.
Somebody let him do that.
But that's not a teardrop though.
That's not like gonna get him killed. That's just gonna like
Yeah.
get him some
Suit
clout.
whoop under the fucking.
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna do that shit. I don't feel like that's a common thing. I feel like 80%. I had to like give a long story to get because they said in every tattoo shop I went into for this face one, I went into 4 different ones to finally find someone, and they all said they don't give face tattoos to people that aren't already covered. Like they have to be running out of space in most places for them to do it because they've been sued so many times.
Okay.
It's a common thing that people get face tattoos and then sue the tattoo,
Well, yeah.
and they win a lot.
Face
People
tattoos
regret
are
Right, because they
tape out.
allowed them to, and they
Even
were,
my
they can-
favorite
if they can
tattoos,
prove
at
they were
some
a little
point I've
bit
been like,
drunk
yo,
or
I
like
hate this.
going through a bad situation. It's really easy to sue a tattoo shop for doing something unreasonable. And,
Yeah.
like that's the line for them, and like,
But
yeah.
what's unreasonable if you asked for it?
Well, I mean,
How do you even win that?
People dumb.
there's some grunge tattoo shops too. A lot of
That's
you know,
true.
what I mean, they don't have like some big lawyers. and
Dude,
shit.
yeah, you can get tattooed in like the back of a gift shop.
I
if you
mean,
want
my
to, like-
first tattoo was on my neck, and I
Shit's crazy.
traded an actual tattoo artist with a shop a PSP and like
Oh,
8
fuck yeah,
games, and he
PSPs.
tattooed my neck.
I had a PSP.
And that was my
I traded
first
that shit for
tattoo.
something.
Nice. What does
Ne-
it say?
neck tats for
Sideshow.
PSP.
Okay.
Neck
That's
tats.
what-
for
that's what
PSP.
show-
And I
comes
was
from.
like 15.
Dude, you were 15 with a neck tat?
Yeah, I was 15 with a neck tat buying
Damn.
everybody
Dude.
cigarettes.
Fuck
You
yeah.
were beating people up. You were a bully in school.
Yeah,
like it.
I was not the nicest person growing up.
Okay. PSP for a neck tat.
Fuck yeah. I kicked some
PSP
fat
and 8
motherfucker
games
over
for a
the
neck
That's
head.
tat.
wild, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Call him
I
Jelly
traded
Belly.
Need for Speed for that.
PSP.
For a PSP, yeah, dude. What would you do for a PSP today? I'd slim motherfucker.
I would
PSPs are pretty fire, bro. You
ask
can-
for it for free, and if they said no, I would go away.
No, they're worth a little bit because you can mod the fuck out of them, and then you have every
cool, though.
PSP game for free.
But I have
They
one.
never made that new because they did the Switch recently, but they never did that with PlayStation. They never like brought it back.
I mean, that was like
compatible with that.
because they were ahead of their time. They already did the PSP. Well, they have the Vita.
Sometimes you gotta shit when you're
Vita's
playing
like
Call of
the
Duty.
new
I think, like,
PSP,
people would
but
just-
people don't really fuck with it for some reason.
I think people were so loyal to like the Game Boy and the Nintendo and stuff that they didn't do that. Like it was
PSP
just
was
like, oh, I'm not gonna buy.
Well,
a
it was like the
PSP.
first thing you could like really like watch movies on. And
Yeah,
shit.
the PSP
facts,
was
yeah.
superior.
I had
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
For sure.
Spider-Man.
Well, no.
I had that too.
I had
don't know which
I think it was the
one.
second one.
I had
but it
movies on the
came
Game
with
Boy.
the thing.
I had the second one on the.
They
I
had
don't remember
movies.
I probably
Not
that,
so
but
shit.
it came with it. I remember. It was sick. It was a sick little setup. And you had that little fucked up disc that will never be used by anything ever again.
Yeah,
It's like,
and then I
the
had like
weirdest
tons
type
of
of-
music and shit on there. You could like store music on it. Do you remember the?
you watch porn on that bitch.
Watch porn on what?
Yeah, because there's like
I
an
remember
internet
that.
browser and shit.
Yeah, I know. I had some saved on.
I had some shit saved.
So it's like, look. I got a question to ask y'all because like I'm 22, so this is like a big question. Did y'all like yeah? So it was like, was it just magazines or did you like have to put your shit on a USB?
Dude,
Or,
we're not
like,
that
what did you-
old.
Like,
I mean, I know you're
we
not
grew
that
up
old.
with dial-up, man.
Okay,
It
but
started
I'm
with
saying, like-
pictures. It
Yo,
started with us
okay, that's what-
downloading
no, I
pictures.
definitely remember
Okay.
looking in magazines though.
Yeah.
Let's not act like Maxim
But did you, like, put it
wasn't
on a
still
floppy
thing
disk?
and shit.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's some side shit though, because I remember like really
Internet was
young,
still
like
a
having
thing, though.
LimeWire.
Yeah,
and all
but
that shit.
before you found
You
out that you
download
could
some
watch
porn.
porn online, you went and you found the old Playboy that someone had left in the woods.
Facts.
Oh, I
behind
do remember the old
neighborhood.
Playboys.
Facts.
They were from my like uncles
Yeah.
and shit. I would
Yeah.
find them
But like,
and like collect those.
did you
shits.
have porn on a
There
floppy
was
disk?
that.
I'm sure some
Not
people
that.
did.
Again,
floppy
that was
disk
like,
porn?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sure somebody had
floppy.
porn. on
Hard
floppy
disk
disk.
porn.
Yeah, hard disk.
I definitely
porn.
had like I would say some porn mixtapes on some thumb
Some
drives,
porn mixtapes.
Yeah.
like to carry from computer to computer. If you ever
Or
need
like
it,
I
you
remember
know?
Some
sometimes.
boner
jams.
jams. Right, like for sure. Maybe
Or,
a
like-
disc
No,
at
you
one
remember-
point. I don't
no.
know.
That's
Like
wild.
you
I didn't
would
really
find,
ever
like,
see the
I remember
DVD
finding
porn,
like
so.
people's like VHS porns and shit.
Yeah.
Like when I
Oh,
was growing
shit.
up. You remember like VHS porn?
Oh, I remember.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
see any VHS
Yeah.
porn. That's
Look,
like,
that would be
pretty
bad if
classic.
like you stole your dad's VHS porn and you were trying to watch it and you didn't rewind it and like he automatically
He just
knew.
knew
That would be
because
so
he was
fucking
his
embarrassing.
favorite
and you
part.
come in with the
I never
midget
get
ass
to, I
fucks
never
in.
get this far into the film.
What is this film?
It's like, do you
I
really
never
like
got
to
it,
watch
man.
this midget eating this other dude out
Whoa.
in the ass? And it's like, Dad,
What are
I
you
turned it
watching?
off there. Like, I promise, I didn't mean it. But no, like, never VHS. You got something stuck in one of my computers. Remember that? We were pretty young.
I remember I went over to somebody's house one time and they were like,
I don't remember.
You don't remember that? You got a DVD stuck. You got a porn
Oh.
DVD stuck in some of my shit. And
Okay.
I was like really nervous about it.
Okay.
I couldn't get it out.
No, I went over to somebody's house one time in like middle school, and I remember he was like, "I stole One Night in Paris from my dad."
Oh, that sounds
And
hot.
and I remember it was like somebody's birthday or something, and we were all like underage and drinking and shit.
Yeah.
And like we were in just somebody's basement watching One Night in Paris, like drinking
Wait,
Yeah.
shots out the
wait,
vodka
wait.
bottle.
Yeah, is it weird? No, see, like I don't remember. No, we never had any like group jack-offs or anything.
No, we didn't.
I totally
I was
remember
just
that.
fixing to ask
Yeah,
you.
we
like,
weren't,
I
we weren't
totally
doing
had
nothing like
situations
that.
where
but I just remember
a
he
group
was like,
of friends
"Here's
would be
some titties,"
watching
and we
some
were all
porn
like, "Whoa."
together and like commenting on it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a super weird thing. Like, that's an early, probably like middle school thing where it's like,
'Cause you'd be
you're
like, "Look
also
what I
excited about
just
it.
saw.
Yeah, and you show each other crazy shit, but it's like, but there is that point to where you're like,
Well, there's like all
well,
those kids.
fuck, why am I hiding from my friends? But it's like, that's like a strip club. That's like 4th grade strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Circle jerks are 4th grade strip clubs.
I did not say there was any touch.
Yeah, no, that wasn't what
It's
was
just
going
like
down.
you comment. Let's do it right now.
No.
Commentary on it.
No, look, best comment.
No,
Yes.
no,
He's like, I
I'm
can't.
joking.
Hashtag
Why?
hashtag Megan the Stallion.
Oh man.
Hi, girl.
No, but
summer.
there was a point to where it was like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on. This is amazing. Show me another one. What you got? Best deep throat of the year from my friend Craig.
Well, no, there was also
Oh
those
my
kids.
God.
There was
Deep
those
throat
kids
jams.
growing up who would like, they would like be like, "Hey, bro, go type in blah blah blah.com, and then you pull it up and it's like some wild shit on like the school
Oh,
computer.
dude.
Wait,
I got
wait,
pranked
wait,
hard
wait,
the
wait,
other
wait,
day.
wait, wait.
One of my close friends
Oh yeah.
fucking pranked me hard. He was like, he hit me up at 8 a.m. and he was like, new weather conditions hitting Chattanooga. And it's like, oh, it's like
Yo, hold on.
legit looking Doppler shit.
Yeah.
And I clicked on it. Big black dude, fucking Shaq looking motherfucker with
Damn.
that was
Oh
just
my
like, it ruined my fucking, it was like 2 days I had to sit and be like, I ain't talking to you no more.
Yeah, I'd be like,
You
what?
play too much.
It's-
My friends, like every friend I ever had in school, came to school one day talking about meatspin.com.
Meat spin.
Oh yeah, no,
That
What's
traumatized me for the rest of my life. I was
you couldn't even
traumatized.
I don't
type
wanna
it in
hear
high
about
school
it.
to type
Bro,
in
go to
meatspin.com.
meatspin.com.
Don't tell me no. I ain't doing that.
Dude.
I ain't trying to be traumatized.
It's
You just told
exactly
me.
what it is. It's exactly what it. Don't go there.
It's the worst.
Dude, those.
Everyone go. Sponsored by.
You guys ever?
Meatspin.
Did you guys ever do like the rotten.com or like
Oh,
any
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like snuff
Or,
films
like, there
or
was, like,
anything?
Oh God.
Well, see, when I was
Dave was
growing up,
into those suicide.
you guys
films,
ever
wasn't
fuck around on the dark web?
he? Hey, let's not get into that
Yeah,
today.
that's dangerous.
You don't want to get into the dark web shit? What
No,
are we
it's-
doing
I mean, we
here?
can
It's
wait.
episode 50.
Yeah, this is episode 50. We can talk about the dark
too late.
web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you got to say about the dark web?
I was just saying, there's all types of shit.
So what have
'Cause
you
you were
personally?
saying-
What's the worst thing you've personally seen on the dark web?
Shout out to my
The
hitman.
worst thing I've
Kids
personally
being
seen on
sold.
the dark web. Oh man.
You don't want to say it.
Well, no, I'm
Sex
just trying to
slaves,
think
dude,
what
that's
the
worse.
worst
Bro, there's
thing
some
is.
bad
What was the
shit.
first thing that came into your head?
I mean, the worst thing that I've heard of on the dark web was from a friend who was like, he lives somewhere
Yeah.
and he does some things.
He's somewhere doing some stuff. Yeah.
But anyways, he's big on hacking and stuff.
Okay.
And
You didn't have to
bro.
say that, but okay.
Yeah,
What-
we all got hacker bros.
yeah, so yeah, he's big on hacking.
Is he
just-
black hat or white hat?
Anyways, so he was telling me a story one time about how he had found some like private server on the dark web, and it was like multi-layer protection where there's like multiple passwords to get
Okay.
into. Like you get into deep layers on the dark
Right.
web, right?
Yeah.
And it ended up being this like chat room of like some saw shit, but it was like once he was in there, he couldn't get out because they would just
Right.
track his IP. He had like, you know, where everything's set up where your IP switches every like
Yeah.
however
We
long.
need
But
some saw shit.
once
like,
yeah, it was
some
like
torture
people
border,
torturing
yeah.
people,
Bro.
right? And he had to pause his like IP where it was because
You guys
he
got
can't-
into
you-
different areas of the dark.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look,
No, but I'm
look,
just saying.
look,
I'm just
no,
saying. This is
no,
one of the
I go
craziest
to,
things I
like,
ever heard
guns
about.
and drugs
So
Yeah.
on the dark
he
web.
got
Yeah,
into
see?
the dark web, and yeah, so he was.
They're a
deep.
good side.
Yeah, he was
now, see,
deep
that's
on
the
there.
point I
There's
want to
also a
make.
plumber.
I want to make the point that like true freedom is having a form of the internet that we can truly make any exchanges over, and that takes some hits from fucked up people. But fucked up people are gonna exist no matter what we do.
I mean, yeah, the
and
craziest
we still
shit
have to be
I
able
ever
to
saw on the
exchange.
dark
Like,
web was
dude,
like,
there's
yeah,
there's
guns
people.
and drugs, and you can put hits
Yeah.
out on people.
Dude,
And
there's
whatever.
people
Yeah.
in fucking, let's go extreme. There's people in Ethiopia that have bought ketamine off the dark web to help a shot off
Yeah.
leg and help them
Thanks.
get through the night. Like, there is positive points that can come from this deep web. So
Yeah.
I don't think
This deep,
that's the
dark
that's not the
web.
problem. Now, yeah. See, my shit on it wasn't good, but I am not the problem. I think that
Never.
there is a positive side to having an open forum like that we
No,
can
that's
sell
facts.
and
I mean,
trade
dude,
But I'm just
goods
saying, there's
over.
also
They-
things like what
without
my homie told me
taxing?
about.
The day I quit
Yeah,
worrying
there's also
about
that. There's all
without rules.
the CP. Like it's awful.
In China,
The
they have
day-
to order weed over the dark
the
web.
day I
Like, don't
quit-
you want
Yeah.
people to get weed?
You don't want people to have weed.
If they need it, you
Yeah,
know,
but
they
I mean-
need much harder shit
But
sometimes.
like, bro, you
know?
could just also
I don't
just
know.
buy like people's whole PayPal accounts and shit.
Yep.
Oh,
dark
yeah.
web
You can buy
mystery
people's
box.
Dude.
credit card numbers. You can
Yeah.
buy people's
Yeah.
identities.
Dude, you think
Everything
that's
is
crazy.
up
It's
for
really
sale.
easy. It's like $5
Is it-
bucks.
look,
You can get like 200.
The day I got worried, the day I quit worrying about the dark
Not
web
bad.
like being something that would be eliminated.
Most of them don't work. Though.
Yeah, that's true. Most of
I
them
mean,
are scams,
Yeah. Well, no, they go out quick. You know, they get
Yeah.
caught quick. So you get like a
but a
certain
lot of them
period
are also
time.
scams.
Facts.
Not when you
What were you
get
gonna
deep
say?
enough. If you get deep enough,
The day like I quit worrying about the dark web like ever being gone was the day that I seen like something on Facebook that I clicked on cover and it was like an X in somebody's head. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've
the dark
seen-
web
I mean,
is
the
all
regular
over the
internet is crazy.
Like,
I've
dude,
seen
okay.
videos of like cartel member, I remember this one vividly of this cartel member had caught his wife cheating, and he made a video for the guy that she was cheating with, and she was knelt down in front of him, and his buddy was behind them in the background digging her grave.
Type shit.
Like he's in the middle of digging, and this dude's like talking, pointing a knife at the camera, and she's down on her knees, and he grabs
That's
her ponytail and just starts hacking away.
There was
you
that
remember,
dude
you
on
remember that
Instagram.
one after 9/11 that was like one of the first like crazy viral videos like that of like that dude getting beheaded in fucking Afghanistan or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was I was like 9 when I
Yeah.
saw that shit, and I remember being like, damn.
There was that dude
Yeah.
on Instagram just now. He was like a super big Instagram influencer, and he cut his throat on Instagram Live. Like he killed his girlfriend that was also an Instagram influencer and cut his throat on Instagram
Damn.
Live. Just sat there talking while he's bleeding out of his throat, like trying to talk and shit.
It's weird.
Just
It's
filmed
art
it.
in
Like,
a weird
it-
way. I would say that
But
one.
it's
You're always
Did you
asking
say
me what
art?
art is.
That's art.
that's
mean,
like
that's
that's
fucked
like
up,
that's like
but-
psycho
New age
socio
art.
art though. Like that's some wild shit. That's
It's
like
it's
Instagram
like
taking it too
Disassociated
far.
from it.
Instagram is like just that shit right there. Just showed like at the same time you can have a free web for everybody. Like there is
What
an
if that
argument to
dude
be
went
made
into
that
some
that shit is
amazing
wild.
fucking godlike being and transcended and
Facts.
I don't
That
know.
could be the case.
we were bringing back to that, like we don't know what's after. So these people that look like they're doing a horrifying
Yeah, they
morbid
killed
thing,
themselves.
maybe
They
doing a
really just
beautiful
skipped
thing.
the line.
We don't actually know
Yeah, they just
what
got
they're
in
getting
early.
to.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
that, or it's just like like you're like with the DMT thing. So those moments feel like they're forever. Those moments
Yeah.
while you're on DMT feel like forever. So those moments you go out of this earth in could feel like forever. So if you're in terror and
Yeah.
if you're in pain, that terror and pain could feel like it lasts for an
Forever, yeah.
eternity.
Okay, so here's a good. I'm sure you guys probably already talked about this at some point, but what is either? Because I know you don't really like remember exactly what happens when you're tripping, but what's either the craziest thing that you have experienced tripping on DMT, or that you've like someone you were with experienced and were trying to like explain to you, or like.
To me,
There's
the craziest thing was experiencing the shared experience of the trip, knowing like whether it be psychically or consciously or subconsciously that what I was experiencing was the same thing that either Tubby was experiencing or whoever I was tripping with
Knowing
was
that that's
experiencing.
the experience.
Yeah, knowing
Yeah.
that like we're both seeing the same things, we're in the same place.
Yeah.
Because when you do DMT, it just lifts the veil.
Yeah.
It just lifts the veil between this and whatever is still going
In
on while this
between-
is
yeah,
happening.
it's all the particles in the air, even. Like,
Yeah, like
that-
you can
I have a
see
good
how everything is
theory
connected.
about,
yeah, you
like-
can see that it's all just
Yeah.
one.
I still have a
Yeah.
good theory about
Yeah.
it not being a chemical portal and that it is just a veil lifter and we are not being transported to another place. We are just seeing what's right in front
Yeah,
of
it's
us.
just you're just
and it's
there
so
now.
strong
Yeah.
that it actually takes away from our past experience.
Right.
So we don't recognize it being in the same place.
Well, right, that's-
because it looks different.
That's
you know?
basically what we've talked about before. That our brain turns those parts of reality
It was
off,
like when I first
so
walked
we
into
can
this room.
deal with
Yeah, the
this.
filter.
I first walked into this room and it was empty, and I started growing pot in here. And that's great to say, but that's done. And but anyway, when I first walked in this room compared to how I feel now in this room, it is absolutely a different place in space and time to me.
Oh, facts.
You know, so it could be just
You see things
realizing
entirely differently.
Well, we
Well,
did a lot
it
of
could
work
be
on this room.
It could
Yeah.
be squishing time together and seeing
Yeah.
all the things happen at once.
Right.
Or
Well, I
it
think
could
that
just be
that's what it
seen through
is.
the moment. There's
Oh,
that
like
chance. To.
you mean like you see all the work you've done in here when you're looking at the room? Is that what you're trying to say? Like when you're in the room chilling? Because you know how.
The
Okay, so
room,
yeah. But I just mean like
Putting that in quotes so everyone knows what I'm talking about.
yeah. But I just mean like is that what you were saying? Like you feel entirely different about the room because you see everything that you've done in the room when you walk in the room?
But I didn't see any of it when I first walked in the room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like now when you walk in the room, it's like
I may have gotten
well,
glimpses.
so
They're
what
more like
I'm saying is like
glimpses.
so it's like you know how when you're like doing DMT and you experience kind of like that like fourth dimension of like you can like see time type shit.
Right.
So like, is it that same type of thing? Do you think that's why like we have such strong connections to say like just a room or something like that, where like so you put in a bunch of work in this room,
I don't give a
right?
fuck about this.
No, but I'm saying like now you walk into the room and you actually there's like a slight little bit of seeing that fourth dimension type shit of like seeing time, because you can remember all the times in here putting in work in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now there's like
Nope.
that connection. He said nope.
Not exactly.
Well, see, I'm of the school of thought that like time, everything that has ever happened or will ever happen is happening right now, because the time does not exist, and we are just calling ourselves into existence in this moment to experience
That's why
it.
I like that last Thursday shit.
Yeah. Because like I mean
How
it's
can you
fine
stay in
because
a
like
moment forever,
you
though?
can't
Like-
well the fuck man, you can't say that it is any different, because how are you any different than you were yesterday? You may be slightly different one way or the other, but it doesn't matter because that's gone now and you're right here.
Yeah,
Like
okay, right.
there's
So
nothing
I've
to
always
say.
been what I will be in the future.
Yeah,
And that does mean time exists because I'm not that now.
but you will be eventually.
Well, no, but time's just our perception of the shit. So
no,
like, what?
I'm fighting that shit. I want
Fighting
to
it.
understand it though. I'm fighting it because I really truly want to understand the single moment in time. I've had it explained to me by a lot of people on the internet.
Well, we're
and some
just
close
calling
friends.
it in. We've called ourselves into existence. We were that God. We were that all-knowing nothingness and everythingness
So
at one
playing out
point.
this moment. So you say, but even when you say it like that, it's like you're playing out this moment and that can't exist at the same time. Correct?
No,
Can
they all exist at the same time. It's parallel universes, realities, all intersecting.
Yeah, see, like, I would see that as more of I still see that as a passing of experiences. I still think things that, that disproves everything that we could imagine, that disproves any form. There wouldn't be
But
any
it doesn't
evolution.
matter, see,
There wouldn't
because
be any building, there wouldn't be any...
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get that your argument is solid and that I can't argue against it, but I don't think that it has enough root for me, and it's something I've always looked to. I've aspired to understanding that this moment is 1847, and we are different people and different. We're in a courtroom right now deciding whether women should vote.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Topical.
Yeah, again, demonetized. But
Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. Cunt.
yeah. But I still don't understand. I still don't understand to the T how time can pass in a singular moment. I think it can be compressed, but I think there is still a movement of time, even if it's really compressed. There's still a 1, 2, 3 to time. I think, even if it's just 1, 2, 3.
But so
I think
does
there
that
is
mean
more
that
than
you
one.
think that time is like linear?
No, it's not every moment, and it's not just one moment. I think there's some medium in between it to where it actually is a few moments that there's such distinction in time. There has to be some sort of
But I
change.
think-
It's because you choose it.
Yeah, I think if you
So
think there's
easy to say
any
that.
if you think
Prove
there's
it to
any
me.
flexibility in time, there's all the flexibility.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
It's
prove
just-
it to me though.
Well,
But-
well, I fucking can't because I'm a human being
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what I'm saying.
born and
But
raised.
do you think that there's any
time.
flexibility in time? Do you think that like time
Yes.
alters in different points?
Time is
and, like,
relative.
yeah,
That would
so
be the
you think
thing.
that there's some flexibility in time, right?
You're trying to trap me, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like, okay,
saying
so
if there's any
you're
flexibility,
not
there's all
you're not a
flexibility.
contortionist, but there's people that are dumb flexible.
How do you
Yeah,
know he's
so
not
that
a
means it's
contortionist?
possible.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm saying.
I'm a contortionist.
I'm a
is what you're telling
contortionist.
me.
But that's what I'm saying is like
Professional.
time might just flex a little bit for you, but that doesn't mean
Yeah.
it can't flex. Like
Toby's
crazy
actually the
some
most
places.
flexible person in this room, and I
Yeah.
guarantee it. He can get both legs behind his head. I've seen
I
him
bet
do
if you
it.
really pressured
can
me
we
into
do
it, I
it?
would
Yeah.
break.
Can
I
we
would
do it
break
right
something
now?
to prove you I could do that. Like
Let's see
I
it.
would go out of the way to prove that.
Let's see it. We all think that
Yeah.
you cannot.
Well, the
I-
challenge, yeah, that's the challenge then. All chant for me.
no, like right now, it's
Just go.
Toby,
Yo,
No,
Toby,
honestly,
no,
Toby,
Honestly,
Toby,
if you do it, you might just go viral.
Toby,
you're gonna go viral.
Toby,
Do it for the
You know what? I'm
Toby.
gonna reverse all of this.
Do it
How
for
so?
the clout.
Oh, just with my belief
Stretching is important.
that you really
Stretching
don't
is
wanna do.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another PSA.
Yeah, stretching. Yeah, we
Everybody
talked about
stretch for
stretching.
10 minutes before you go to bed and 10 minutes after you wake up.
And get 30 minutes of hard activity a day.
As long as you don't put your
Goggins
Do
legs
drugs
says
and
behind your
smoke
hours.
head.
cigarettes.
Huh?
Goggins says 2 hours.
Of stretching?
Yeah, in the
How
morning and
many
in the
people
evening.
put their legs
Well, that's
behind their
because
head?
he lost 3 inches.
And then gained it back.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain that to him that like he needed like 50,000 hours of stretching or something
It like
to like fix his
compresses
body.
spine. It
Wait,
compresses
wait.
So
disc
there's
or
like
something.
it's something about all that
I've heard
tension,
of that.
all that tension
all
over
the
time
hitting
collects
the-
in like your lower back
Yeah.
or something like that, and in
Yep.
like the base of your neck. So like you just, I mean,
Compresses
people
over
know
time.
people shrink over time. Like everybody
Yeah, my
talks about how
grandma
like
was
grandma's
tiny.
so small, but she used to be fucking whatever. You know what I
She
mean?
used to be
8.
8 foot.
Yeah, grandma stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
She never stretched ever.
Yeah. Amazon to Amazon.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out to short grandmas.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Grammy.
Amazonian women.
We see you out there,
Facts.
Grammy.
We see
Yeah.
you.
Shout out to all grandmas,
Yeah,
Yeah.
grandma.
not just short grandmas.
I would like some chocolate
tall
chip
grandmas too, because they've been stretching.
Fuck yeah, some grandma's chocolate.
Good
chip
job,
cookies.
Grandma.
Yeah. Shout out to
Dude,
yoga
my grandma
grandmas.
was called Grandma with the cookies. I had one.
SpongeBob's grandma was a chocolate chip cookie, and she made him chocolate chip cookies.
She was a child.
You
No,
can
she
see.
was a round
Oh,
sponge.
God.
She was a round sponge
They don't
with
make those.
darker
It's a little too
spots.
They don't
personal.
make those. They don't
You
make
know, this
those.
is the only time that I've gotten emotional through this whole thing. It's like talking about chocolate chip cookies and grandmas.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep, and here we are. I'm gonna call it.
You're going to
This is
call
what
it?
I'm gonna do.
You're done?
Yeah, my wrist is
Toby's wrist is hurting from sitting down and talking, y'all.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dude,
man.
he's been
He's been
the brick.
lifting those
Pressure on
claws to his these
Yeah.
beasts, man.
Yeah,
These
beasts.
claws get heavy.
I
Man.
know. I'm
All right.
going up.
Well, do you guys want to tell people where they can find you? Thank you guys for coming, by the way. That was
You're
very
welcome.
nice of you guys to
You're
come
welcome.
on.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
I've never done this
Um,
before. This was cool.
I'm at show JDGB on everything.
Okay.
Say it one more time. That's a lot of letters.
JDGB. It stands for just doesn't get better.
Wait, what is it?
Just doesn't get better.
Oh, see,
it's
that
a
would've
yin and
helped me
yang
remember
thing
that.
because it's positive and negative.
Just
it can be
doesn't
like
get
just
better.
doesn't get better than this, or it just never gets better than this.
Just
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
Oh,
it's got a yin
double
and yang to
negative.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
You can look me up on Google at Mute Da Vinci. Just type in Mute.
He has,
M-U-T-E,
can we just say he has the
D-A-V-I-N-C-I.
hardest rap name?
Mute Da Vinci.
Mute Da Vinci. Well, he
Yeah.
lost his ear, right? He cut off his ear, right?
I really like it. It stands out to me.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
why.
he cut
That's
off
good.
his ear, so he was already half deaf.
Like
Yeah.
oh, but you
so if he
can
was mute as well.
like, dude, I'm on
You can
Google or
still pay.
Yahoo or Bing or anything. Just type in the name and it pops up.
All right. Well,
I swear, it's
thank you
super
guys
cool.
so much for watching. This was the 50th episode of A Drink and a Joint. Hopefully,
Which is
we'll
the
do another
goal.
50.
Yeah.
The golden episode.
Yeah, this is a good one. This was a golden goose of an episode. We love you guys very much. You know how to get at us. Get on the fucking the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, the SoundClouds, the podcast app. And if you're on the fucking podcast app, 5-star that bitch. We've been
And if
waiting.
you
Yeah.
work
10
for
out of
YouTube,
10.
fuck you.
It's 5. You get
And
5
5 out of
stars.
5.
And you know, like stop putting us on the shit list, or I'm gonna shit on your list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
about
coming
that.
for you, YouTube.
Yeah.
This is not a threat. It is
Yeah.
a promise.
Oh.
We are coming.
Ooh,
Wow.
I like that because that's admissible in court, right? This is I literally
Oh,
said
wait,
this is
wait,
not
wait,
a
wait,
threat.
wait,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said out
I
loud.
said it was
Not
a
a threat.
quote unquote.
This
promise.
podcast was
Then
for
we
entertainment
even-
purposes only.
We even like went meta with it and then discussed the fact
Yeah,
that
it's
this would
also
be
still
held
not
in
a
court.
Blank
Yeah.
and blank. Yeah, I know both of your names. We'll insert them here later. Coming for you.
I have a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, we love you guys very much. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next week.
Adios.